You are now rocking with the hottest boxing podcast in the land with your host, Coach Malachi Williams.
True.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up, family? This is our boy, Coach Malachi in the building. And we back. Too Many Podcast, man. We back up in this BI, man. Too Many Podcast. We are back. Happy, what? The day is Wednesday? Yeah, I think the day is Wednesday. Yeah, the day is Wednesday. I did this shit yesterday. Trying to figure out what day it was. And yeah, I did that yesterday, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Shit, happy doggone Wednesday. Called it a hump day. Yeah, the day Wednesday. I be losing track of days, man. I really do sometimes. I be losing track of days because I be so busy. I have some other stuff I'm working on. I got some other stuff I'm working on and all that stuff there, man. So going into 2026, what I normally do, what's kind of like been a tradition of mine for the past, I want to say couple of years, 2 or 3 years. I get started on my goals for the new year, and pretty much I want to be intentional for all of the next year, 2026, right? This year I did pretty good. But the goal is to do better. So I start an action plan, and I start doing the things that I plan on doing in 2026 now. That's so by the time 2026 come roll in, I'm already walking into, what I planned out to do for the rest of that year. You get what I'm saying? I'm very intentional, so I try to start working on it. This is something I've been trying for the past 3 years. So each year is getting better. So I want to try to, let me walk into the year already doing it. That's why I ain't got to say, well, what you want to, what's your New Year's resolution? Well, I'm already doing it. So I've been doing it already. You get what I'm saying? I walk right into that shit.
True.
I want to have a great relationship with money. You get what I'm saying? I want to be able to attract money, attract it. You got a lot of motherfuckers, they repel money. Just based on how you talk and what the words you say and how you run your mouth, that right there tell you whether you're gonna get some bread or not. That shit real, bro. That shit real. That shit real. That shit real. I ain't gonna say a lie to you, bro. That shit real, bro. Like, it's called the law of attraction. You can attract that shit to you, bro. You got it, but words have power. Words have power too. Y'all gotta understand that. That's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna even do that on this show, cause one thing about me, man. I'm sharp as a tack. I learned from some of the best. You know what I mean? And I got the game for some of the best. I'm trying to tell you, I know what I'm talking about when I talk. But that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Shout out to Big John. Big John, what's up, fam? Who else we got? Shout out to Mika. What's good, Mika? Highlight Space in the building. James. What it is, man. Shout out to Gab. Shout out to Gabe. Gabe, what's going on? Shout out to Big John Doe. He say Debo Dale. Show y'all Dale's levels. Hey, man, Debo, Mr. Tuck Your Chain. Mr. What you got on my 40, homie? Mr. That's my bike, punk. Mr. I got $200. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Debo Deb. Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I kind of, you know what was funny? What was funny was how Bill Haney took it and ran with it. Bill Haney had, okay, he carried a Debo Deb shirt. Hey, that shit was funny to the bug. They you know, they training. Everybody training right now. I see Debo Deb training, Brian Norman training. Boy, they getting ready, boy. They getting ready. When they get down to like 30 days study, when they get down to them last 30 days, you know, they should be traveling to Saudi Arabia by like the second week of November. They should be traveling, landing there about the second week of November. Yeah, man. Yeah. Touching down. You get what I'm saying? They start, you know what I mean? They're going to be touching down right there. Yeah. You dig? Anyways, I want to again because I want to see it's a lot of stuff I've been telling y'all what's going on in boxing, especially in America. And American boxing. American boxing is unique because this is the North American continent minus Mexico. Because the North American continent is, you know, Mexico, United States, Canada, right? So, we know that, you know, Mexico got a boxing culture, but they just got regular average fighters for the most part. It ain't a bunch of Canelos. And their culture is we gonna fight. You know, we're gonna put our best foot forward. We know we gonna take the fight to the person. You know what I mean? That's their culture. I can't speak for Canada. I ain't gonna lie, I can't speak for Canada. America, we had like I said, a hell of a boxing culture. But, you know, that boxing culture is gone. You know, boxing culture in America has been replaced by social media, influencer stuff, cloud, you know, instant gratification. See, this is the instant gratification era as well, right? If you look at boxing as a whole in America, because America, you know, what's going on now, people want instant gratification and stuff like that. Boxing, there's no instant gratification in boxing. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have the instant gratification culture, which is what social media brings, versus boxing. And when you look at it like that, it's like, you know what? Yeah, man, you know, it's all about, you know, who got swag, who got, how many likes you got, you know, how many followers you have. Did your video go viral? This is where we at in boxing right now. And this is the level of excitement that someone like a Jake Paul brings to boxing, because ta-da. You get what I'm saying? But the question I had was sitting back looking at the landscape and all that stuff that was going on in the sport. I saw an interview that Steve Kim, Mario Lopez, I think they got a podcast called the 3 Knockdown Rule. They interviewed Dana White. And I watched that interview and what Dana White was saying, what he's going to do with TKO boxing, what the plan is, what's going on. And you got a lot of people, you know, online, they can get mad, complain, this, that, I don't like this, I don't like that. Those guys are the perpetual complainers, right? That's it. Like, since I've been on social media, that's pretty much what it is. People go complain, troll, whatever. And that's what they do. Some of these niggas, they just complain. Those guys are never going to have a level of success, anything in their life. The only thing they're successful at is complaining. That's it. They're successful when it comes to complaining, right? And so me, I'm the type of guy, I try to like, okay, if this is where it's going at, how do I make adjustments? Like, how do I adjust my perception, my worldview, how I see things? Did you get what I'm saying? That's pretty much, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with making the adjustments. So in a recent interview with Jose Benavidez Sr., we're going to talk about that as well. But the question I have for everybody is this here. After Canelo and Terence Crawford, which fighter will become the face of boxing? You know, talking about, coming out of America. We know there's only really one face, and I always preface things as North America, because I know in Japan it's different. In Japan, it's a new way. Canelo ain't bigger than a new way in Japan. And in the UK, I don't know who that would be in the UK. I don't even know if the UK have anybody that's, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the people in the UK. Is there any fight in the UK that's bigger than Canelo? And does Canelo, like, popularity and reach, does it reach over there? You know what I mean? In the UK, is it over there or somewhere? You get what I'm saying? From a popularity standpoint. No, you get what I'm saying? From a popularity standpoint is what I'm asking. Over here we got what? Devin. We got a bunch of young fighters, Abdullah Mason, David Benavidez, Virgil, Bam. It's a bunch of guys. Some guys they thought that was going to be, some guys they thought was really, really going to be showing up what's happening, and they didn't turn out that way. You had a lot of hype got behind Tiger. Tiger Johnson. A lot of hype got behind a lot of these young guys. They were hyping them up, and a couple of these jitter boys got lost. They got one loss or whatever, and then it's like once they got the loss, they kind of died down a little bit, the excitement or whatever. And there's a couple of them I forgot. We got Jaleel Hackett. We got what's the other dude name? He just signed with man, I forgot. Man, it's some of the young fighters. Somebody say Mama Holyfield, the new face of boxing. Oh no, hell no. Yeah, the kid also this and that. I think that face of boxing thing is dead. I think once Canelo, after Canelo, that's it. I think after Canelo, that's it. That's gonna be it for that. You get what I'm saying? It ain't Tank. Tank ain't, Tank is a special guy. So he like he said, Tank said in the video, like he said, I ain't no face of boxing. I'm just here. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that boxes. That's what he said. So he right about that. He ain't no face. So no matter how much his fans say he the face, your own guy saying he not the face. So he told y'all that. Even though before that he said he was the face. So you know how that he be switching, flipping and flopping. But yeah, he's an influencer boxer now. We gonna put him in the category with Ryan Garcia. I mean, but even Ryan Garcia haven't done that yet. You know what I mean? So at least he's still having real fights. So yeah, so other than that, got the Brian Normans, we have the Shakurs. Me personally, I don't see nobody that I can look at and I'm just getting excited about like that. Like that can carry the sport. And I'm gonna give you an example. Like when Ali was around, I was young, so you know what I'm saying, I was born in the tail end of his career. There was excitement, but I did come up in the Mike Tyson era, and I can remember the level of excitement it was for Mike. Like people got excited when you said Mike Tyson. He, the Jacobs, I think Mike Tyson's business, his handlers, I think Jacobs and another guy after after Custom Auto passed away. I forgot, you had Jacobs and the other white guy, right? They did a great job in building them and marketing them after Cus passed away. They got him in Mike Tyson Punch Out video games. They did that. He was a global brand. Mike Tyson was. Nigga had Mike Tyson. Man had Punch Out. The man had Mike Tyson Punch Out. Everybody, I don't know, bro. That's when Nintendo was popping. That right there, Nintendo was jumping with Mario Brothers and stuff like that. But if it was one thing that kind of like took them over the top, because we had Atari, Nintendo, then they had ColecoVision, had some other stuff. But that Mike Tyson Punch Out was huge. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he was that. And so you had that era, Mike. Then Oscar was, Oscar De La Hoya, the golden boy, but he wasn't big like Mike Tyson. He wasn't big. Oscar wasn't big like Mike. Not like Mike. Mike was that guy. Then Floyd, came through, and Floyd didn't become big until once after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I mean? He became money made like a couple of fights before that, but he still wasn't moving the needle like that. Then after he beat Oscar De La Hoya, he came up with a blueprint to keep it up there, and he did well. He did well for that. But it was different from Mike. It was more Floyd. It was different. It was different, right? And then of course Floyd made money, broke financial records and all that stuff there. But and then it's like after Floyd, bam. And we had a study ship of Canelo. After Floyd, then Canelo. So Canelo kind of gave it a little, kept it, gave it some relevance, right? He kind of gave it some relevance. Then you had Crawford doing what he doing, but he wasn't nowhere near. It was Canelo then everybody else for the most part. That's being honest. Canelo then everybody else, right? And then I'm saying over here in America, I say, damn, but once Canelo and Crawford leave, I don't, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, once Canelo and Crawford leave, man, like, cause this shit don't change so much to the point to where we're in an instant gratification era and people looking and listening to sound bites and watch, oh, you saw what he did, such and such. But then now when people come to my show and they start, and I got them thinking over here, wait a minute, man, who you fought? Yeah, you did that, but who you did it to? Nigga, you did it to Snarf. Nigga, I stopped him in 15 seconds. Yeah, when you stop, I give it a proper perspective. I'm like, I don't get caught up in the hype and the hyperbole. I'm like, no, hold up, swole up. Wait a minute, baby boy. Okay, now this dude was old and washed up. He caught him with a good when he did that. He caught him with a good when he caught him slipping. You know what I mean? But this guy ain't that. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's a magic trick. It's Barnum and Bailey. What's the musician? Houdini. Nigga, I don't pull the Houdini on you. Yeah, baby boy, look right here, baby boy. I got a hat. I'm finna put the rabbit in the hat, baby boy. You see the hat? Look in the hat. Now put your hand in the hat. You see what I'm saying? You feel the bottom of the hat? Okay, cool. Now, baby boy, you see this white bunny rabbit right here? Yeah. All right, I'm finna put the white bunny rabbit in the hat. Then I'm going to cover the hat up. Then I'm going to say in front of your face. Then I'm going to say abracadabra, tap it with my wand. And then I'm going to pull the sheet from over it. And then you reach your hand in there seeking you find the rabbit. You get what I'm saying? True. I'm like, man. Anyways, in a recent interview with Jose Benavidez Sr., and that's what Jake Paul doing. Jake Paul doing that right now. You know what I mean? Jose says Canelo Alvarez is worn out in boxing life. Let me repeat. In a recent interview with Jose Benavidez Sr., Jose says Canelo Alvarez is worn out in boxing life. Now check this out. Now, Jose, you did say that Canelo was going to knock Crawford out and do A, B, C, and D. Then once your prediction became wrong, now you're saying that he was worn out. True. Hey, Trey, this is what I be talking about. You can't beat him. You can't beat him. You can't beat him. Bro, like, hold on. What did you say, fam? He said Roller's a 2-division champ despite having beat no good fighters, making more money than some legends. Nah, I mean, not really. Roller ain't making more money than the legends. I mean, he probably made a good little change fighting on Turk out of sheet card, but he ain't making no more money than the legends. When you factor in inflation, he's making about the same or whatever. He probably making less than the legends. More than likely, because Roller ain't making no big money like that. His biggest payday probably came from Turk out of sheet, and Turk out of sheet can't break no bank with Roller Romero. If you factor in inflation from, let's say, the 80s, what was the equivalent of a certain amount of money in the 80s than it is today? It's the same thing, damn near the equivalent. Yeah, but Roller, yeah, Roller ain't shit. Roller ain't making no money like that, and that's just being real. You get what I'm saying? He ain't make shit. He ain't make shit fighting Tank. 500 motherfuckers a month. They don't break the bank when a motherfucker fight Tank Davis anyway. Rolly got like 350,000. He got a Bugatti and a coloring book. True. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. You get what I'm saying? But as I said before, this is what Jose Benavidez Sr. said. Meaning what he's saying is he's been a pro for 20 years. He has 68 fights. This is Canelo. He's beaten champions, former champions, and he's beaten undefeated fighters who were highly skilled in that time span. As for Terence Crawford has been a pro for 17 years, not even including his amateur record. He's been boxing since the age of 7. He's beaten champions, former champions, and he's beaten undefeated fighters who were highly skilled in that time span. Both Canelo and Crawford have unified divisions and become undisputed. Some would say they might be the last of the legacy era in America. But then you got Devin Haney. Some people say Devin Haney's doing legacy fights. He became undisputed in lightweight. I think a lot of people give Devin Haney flack because they feel that he did go undisputed. See, this is the argument I see with the pro Devin Haney fans versus the anti Devin Haney, right? The people who are pro Devin Haney fans, they say, well, look, man, Devin Haney won all the smoke. He called out Teofimo Lopez. That's true. He called out Lomachenko. That's true. He tried to fight those guys, years ago, and they didn't fight him. They ducked him or whatever. Did you get what I'm saying? So Devin Haney was trying to get the fight with Teofimo Lopez. Big called him out, wanted to fight him. I don't think nobody will argue that. They got videos of that. Teofimo ran into the arms of George Kambosos. He was negotiating the fight with George Kambosos over there at Top Rank. I think after Kambosos beat Lomachenko, after Teofimo beat Lomachenko, Teofimo wanted, he thought he was this mega superstar because Lomachenko is looked upon by Max Kellerman and is pound for pound #1 over Andre Ward and over Crawford. He pound for pound #1 fighter. He the Matrix. Y'all remember that? The Matrix, all that white Jesus and halos and angels and wings and hymns and walking on water, turning water into wine. You get what I'm saying? That Lomachenko. So that shit got to his head. Then his daddy went to run around doing this.
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats. This is different.
You did? So, then that went to purse bid, and Triller picked it up, and then they kept getting rescheduled. It got rescheduled like 2-3 times. And then Triller ended up dropping it. And then the second highest bidder in the purse bid was Matchroom. So the fight fell in Eddie Hearn's lap. And then, George Kambosos, Killer Cam is what I called him. Kangaroo George. He was with, he came to New York. The Lopez say they're from New York. They say they're from Brooklyn. So he came to Teofimo Lopez's backyard and he beat him. The French fries belt was on the line as well, which was a non-transferable belt that became transferable once Teofimo beat Lomachenko. Devin Haney got the belt because Lomachenko dropped the WBC title because Mauricio Suleiman elevated him to the French fries belt. He created the belt out of nowhere, out of thin air. Right? Magically. Poof. Just like that. So how it worked out, Debo Dale was able to land. He was with Eddie Hearn, but the opportunity came up to fight George Kambosos. However, George Kambosos didn't want to fight Devin Haney. He wanted to fight Lomachenko for the belt because he was going to make more money. So Lomachenko decided, I'm going to go ahead and fight Kambosos. I get them 3 belts. Then I can circle back and then fight Devin Haney for the last belt, become undisputed. Because they were trying to say, because you had the French fries belt, along with the other 3 sanctioned body belts, you undisputed. And that's what Teofimo and all the people were talking about. Well, I'm undisputed champ. No, sir, you are the ESPN top ranked undisputed champ. When you look up all of the champions who in the 4-belt era that's been undisputed, your name is not on there. And if you try to argue that, then guess what? Then that must mean George Camboso was undisputed as well. And we know he wasn't undisputed, and he beat Tio. So that's neither here nor there, right? So they went with that. Karma run around. Devin Haney ended up leaving top rank matchroom because Bob Arum say, you'll never get that fight because you signed with the wrong promotional company, kid. Y'all remember that? So he ended up getting it. So I'll say all that to say this. Because he beat George Kambosos, you'll have people who don't like they'll be like, look here, man, because it's not necessarily the belt, it's who you beat to get the belt. I say that all the time. Man, you beat George Kambosos. You came in at the right time. Well, Lomachenko had turned the fight down. He turned the fight down because he said he wanted to stay in Ukraine because of the war. He acted like he was on the front lines shooting at Vladimir Putin himself. You a celebrity. You ain't no celebrity on the front line. He wasn't doing that. So, you know, it is what it is. And Devin Haney snuck through the back door. Sources say Bob gave him a short-end contract. Say, look, baby boy, I'm going to pay you 1.5, and that's the best I can do for you. And they say he took the 1.5. And he said, if you win, if it's a rematch, you're going to get that same 1.5. That's what they say. I don't know how true that is, but that they say he got paid 1.5 twice, you know. And, you know, then he got out of there. You know, Bob was hoping, they was hoping that George can, you know, can do something, but he couldn't do nothing. Then that's how Devin became that, right? So, and I'm like, once Canelo and Crawford leave, 2 legacy fighters, you can look and say Devin Haney is a legacy fighter as well. You can say, okay, well, he's going to his 30-weight division. If he beat Brian Norman, you know, he gonna be 3-division world champ. That's doing legacy stuff. I think Shakur Stevenson is a 3-division world champ as well. Is he 3-division? Yeah, I think Shakur might be 3-division right now, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong or not. I really can't remember. Right. So you can put that there. I don't know if you're gonna see too many undisputed fights. Like, you know, new age undisputed fighters. Terence Crawford is an undisputed fighter. Canelo is an undisputed fighter. Alexander Usyk is an undisputed type fighter. Then, of course, Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor and all the women. But I'm just talking about from a men's standpoint. And then Devin Haney, he's been undisputed as well, undisputed fighter. So you have those type of fighters. And I'm like, then you have the other dudes who get the hype and the name and, you know, the popularity and all that stuff there because they have a rabid fan base. Some fighters have rabid fan bases. Some fighters have rabid fan bases. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say this. And the crazier the fan base, the more hype that person is going to get. That's pretty much what it is. So I said, well, man, once Canelo and Crawford lead the game, I honestly think that we won't have nothing that's going to say somebody's the face of boxing in America. Tank ain't no face. Devin Haney's not the face. Ryan Garcia's not the face. Hell, some would say, hell, more so Jake Paul is more the face of any of these dudes. But I don't agree with that. You know, he's the face of influencer boxing. Yeah, you know what, bro? I'm thinking I'm like, bro, like, I think that face of boxing shit, that shit gonna be over with. Like, for real, I don't see nobody. I don't see it yet. I don't. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, it got to be something that's something. That's why I brought up Mike Tyson, Ali, and Mike Tyson. It got to be something that somebody gonna be excited about. Like the Mike Tyson era brought excitement. Money Mayweather era, he brought excitement. Walking economies. When you get ready to fight, people flying all over, hotels getting booked and sold out, restaurants packed, the 304s coming out in droves selling kitty cat, pimps out there. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, what fighter bring that level of excitement? What's they leave? And I can't really think of none, bro. I was sitting there thinking, I can't really think of none, bro. So I'm saying right now, so I think the fighters are going to have to build up to that. And then how to build the fighter, times have changed. It used to be the promoter. You had a slick fly talking promoter like a Don King. Don King get up there talking only in America, baby. He got the 2 American flags right there. Don King know how to talk to the media. He had people who said good things about him. He had people who said bad things about him. Don King can sit there and handle the media. He had them wrapped around his finger. The IRS, the feds are bringing Don King up on charges. They couldn't convict him in court. I mean, rumors of Don always smiled. He had a personality big as life. Shout out to the Jessica. What's going on, sis? He had a personality big as life. You don't have that with fighters or anything. Or any promoters. I mean, Eddie Hearn, Eddie Hearn, all right. He all right. He ain't no Don King. He all right. He mid. If he was some weed, he'll be mid. I can't sit back and say he a great promoter, but he mid, he all right. But I don't get excited saying, oh, that's Eddie Hearn. That's fast car. Eddie capping again. What this nigga lying about now? And when I saw Don, I was like, man, who motherfucker Don? Because Don gonna say something, how you laughing, this and that. Like, I'm like, damn, we ain't got that, bro. We ain't got that at all. And then the fighters in today's time, they ain't got no personality, really. So if the electricity is not here for you off the ripple, then you couple that, well, okay, how many dudes ain't really got no personality like that? Whether it's the Canelos or the Crawfords or the Dula Masons or the Shakurs or the Haneys or any of the fighters, you name them. Who got a personality that, you get what I'm saying? Everybody just pretty much laid back, cool, smooth, whatever the case may be. I'm just being honest. That's just pretty much it. They just who they are. So I'm like, there's no, damn, you get what I'm saying? Like wrestling, WWE gets it. WWE gets it. But WWE, that's, I remember the WWF. With Vince McMahon, the father had the company. I go back to that. But, I think that's why people love wrestling so much, because it's very engaging. It's, the storylines. You get what I'm saying? But it's a different business model. But as I said before, both Canelo and Crawford have unified divisions that become undisputed fighters. Both fighters are looked upon by their peers. Very important. By their peers as the best of this era. See, that's very key. Both fighters, Crawford and Canelo, are looked upon by their peers as the best of this era. As we fast forward to today's time, I want to know which North American fighter will be the one to pick up the mantle. Canelo and Crawford have some big shoes. Well, anybody who follow Canelo and Crawford is going to have some big shoes to fill. See, you're not going to be able to get a slick promoter from the UK, and just because he say, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, did you see that knockout? Did you see the way he hit Lima Bean? Like, whoa, this is amazing. I'm telling you right now, the rest of those guys better watch out. Yeah, it's going to take more than that. Because when we just sit back and look, Lima Bean turned pro at 26. He don't have an amateur career. He 32 years old. Where y'all found him at?
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats.
Wait a minute, that was Jaleel Hackett's cherry? You listen, you stole Jaleel Hackett's cherry? You tell Jaleel Hackett, yeah, mate, don't worry about it. Lima, he does nothing for your career. That belt doesn't mean anything. But yeah, you save him and shoot him to the boy from Philly. It does a whole lot for his career. Come on, fam.
True.
It's gonna take a whole lot more than that. Because we're gonna go by the examples of those who came before you. See, we got some examples to look at. We got some Ray Leonard, some Haglers, some James Lifestyle Tonys. We got some Canelo Alvarez, some Floyd Mayweather, some Terence Crawfords, some Alexander Usyks, some in New Age. Like, we got some people we can really, really look at and do a comparison. Say, nah, he ain't moving like Buddy. He ain't moving like any one of them niggas, though. Yeah, he ain't moving like them, dog. Yeah, he ain't moving like that at all. He has a well choreographed career. He ain't moving like that. Yeah, this shit smoking mirrors, baby boy. Whole head cheese sandwiches and mustard. And hot sauce. And devil crabs and all the other shit. You dig? They got some big shoes to fill. The chances of us seeing a fighter, do what Canelo, Crawford, Usyk, and a New Way have done in today's time are slim to none. We already see what American boxing is all about in today's time. Certain fighters are getting crowned the best for beating up fighters who have no amateur record, who turned pro at 26 years old, and motherfuckers that got put in the rankings. Somebody explain to me, how does a guy who turned pro just 6 years ago with no amateur background get put in the top 10 in any sanctioned body? I'll let y'all figure that one out. Influencer boxing fans have taken over the sport. The traditional boxing fans have left the sport. However, we do have fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Abdullah Mason, Brian Norman Jr., Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Raymond Ford, Oshaki Foster, Cool Boy Steph, Bam Rodriguez, David Benavidez, the Jaleel Hackett's, the Keith Colognes, the Cam Walkers, the Sebastian Pandoras, and any other fighter that I may have forgotten, because there's too many to name. Tank Davis isn't on the list because he's a prize fighter who's on record stating that he's looking for the easy way out. Look, man, I ain't no face box, man. I'm just a guy who boxes. That's what he said. Last interview, I got it. The Jake Paul press conference. I'm saving that because you got to, because some of these Tank fans, they're real special. So you got to save shit for them because they would knowingly know that Tank said something. They'll lie and say he didn't say it. So I got to always keep those receipts. That's why I keep that Wallow and Gilly interview. When they go to talking to player, no, this is what Tank said right here. And I push play. Me, the fans, be feeling like you're not getting the fights you're supposed to. But we know Tank can fight anybody. Why is that? For me, we want to see you fight Lomachenko. We want to see you fight Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, or anyone around in the weight division that say they're the four kings. We want to see you fight them. When we gonna see it? To be honest, I don't, I can't tell you, that's some real shit. That's some real shit. Wait a minute. When was the last time you went in there and said, I want these niggas, man? To be honest, I ain't never said it. See that right there. That's the end all be all argument. I just play that. All right, next subject. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next subject, y'all. Y'all don't lost that one. I ain't gonna. I do one shot kills. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that on YouTube, but yeah, I'm like me. I go straight for the hit. Yeah, I ain't finna. Yeah, dog. I ain't finna be sitting here going 12 rounds with your dog. I got one hit of quitters over here. One hit of quitters is what I got. I got one hit of quitters over here. Let me go pull this shit up. Hit the nigga with this one right quick. Bam, bam. Hit him with a mean two-piece. Fight over with. Referee don't jump in. Way to fight off. It's over. The corner don't through the towel lane. It's over with.
True.
Yeah, this shit quick. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't got him on the list. Ryan Garcia is an influencer boxer, similar to Jake Paul. So, you know, outside of him being a bigot, popping dirty, being an Instagram model, selfie king, you know, I can't take him serious at all. Jake Paul appears to be on track to become the new face of American boxing. Why do I say that? Because most of the American boxing fans online are influencer, influencer boxing fans. That's the instant gratification crowd, the cloud, that they get starry-eyed. Like the little kid, I told you I had a neighbor live next door to me, right? They moved to Virginia. But they had 3 kids. And their kids used to be over here playing with my kids, right? And one of the kids was like 11 or 12, something like that. And this is 2021. This is around the time I started this boxing podcast. Well, it was like 8 months after. 8 months after. It was over there on my patio playing with my kids. And kid walked up to me. He said, you got to come out. My daughter was telling her, look, my dad got a boxing podcast, this and that. He said, you got a boxing podcast? And his eyes was all wide. You know, little white kid, you know what I mean? He playing with my kids. His eyes was all wide. And, you know, he got 2 little brothers. They bad in the motherfucker. But, yeah, you know, he's like, yeah, you got a boxing podcast? I said, yeah, kid, I got a boxing podcast. He said, do you know Jake Paul? And I saw the glee in his eyes. I saw the glee in his eyes. Did you know Jake Paul? I said, yeah. I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Jake. Yeah, you know, he's you know, what do you think about him? You know, he's the best fighter out there, huh? Like he's the best. Jake Paul is the best. He'll beat all the, and I was like, huh? This is around the time. I think this is around the time when he knocked out Nate Robinson. He knocked out Nate Robinson to somebody, right? Somewhere around there. He had what year that was he knocked out Nate Robinson? He had knocked out Nate Robinson, man. Man, this kid coming up to me, looking all starry-eyed, talking about, yeah, look what he did to Nate and all that stuff there. And I think he might have knocked out Tyrone Woodley around that. No, he knocked out Tyrone Woodley. No, that was Nate Robinson. That was Nate Robinson. That's who it was, Nate Robinson. It was around that time. I was like, oh my God. Little did I know, I didn't know that Jake Paul would still be here this strong in 2025. Like, man, this motherfucker, he don't shit. Like, he taking this shit serious. They got him ranked and everything. But I couldn't break his heart. I was like, you know what? He 12, so if he was 13, he can get it. True. If he was 13, he could. If he was 13, I would have gave it to him. But I would have. But if he was 13, I probably would have hurt it. I probably would have hurt that kid feeling. I said, look here, baby boy, check this out, fam. Look here, baby boy. Jake Paul ain't no fighter. That's one. You see what I'm saying? And where your daddy at? Do your daddy watch boxing? Where your daddy at? Is he at home right now? Let me go talk to your daddy. Come on, let me take you over here and talk to your daddy. And let me tell him, you know what I mean? Jake Paul ain't no fighter. Did you know that? This man is a Mickey Mouse guy. He came from Disney and Divine and y'all remember the app, Divine? One time for Divine. You know what I mean? All that stuff that Divine. He came from that. This man ain't no real fighter, man. He's the real fighter. But I ain't want to break his heart. I said, you know what? I ain't want the man going home crying and you know. Then I got to whoop his daddy up. His daddy might get mad. Why you made my son? You know, I ain't want to go through all that. Cause we neighbors. You know, I ain't want to go through all that. You get what I'm saying? So true. Yeah, if he was 13, I would just had to tell him, look here, man. Yeah, man, I ain't look here, bro. You know, I ain't want to do it to him though. You know. Now, as I said before, Jake Paul appears to be the new face of American boxing. So the question that I have for you guys and listeners of today's show is this: which American fighter who you think will become the face of boxing? We're talking about after Canelo and Crawford. You know, they at the twilight of their career. Well, Canelo probably got more years, but Crawford, Crawford damn near 40. He's 38, so, you know. He got gray hairs now and everything, so he ain't no, you know what I mean? He ain't no telling how long that's going to be. Canelo, you know what I'm saying? So, who knows? Because Jose Sr. saying the man is, Jose Benavidez Sr. saying Canelo is worn out in boxing life. Now, the crazy part about Jose's statement is this. prior to the fight, when you made your prediction, you wasn't talking about Canelo was worn out. Y'all, what they were saying? Man, Canelo got too much experience. He got a granite chin. Canelo a knockout artist. Crawford too small. You know, they were saying all that stuff there, right? I'm talking about the experts. And then after the fight, that same guy who they picked, they went to poking holes in him. Oh, man, the man old and worn out, even though Crawford was older. Oh, yeah, man, the man, you know, he waking up the silk sheets. Oh, man, he really not that big. Oh, man, you know, he too flat. Bro, like they switched their position so, like, literally the next day. Somebody said Keyshawn. Is Keyshawn still box? I heard Keyshawn retired. Is Keyshawn? I heard Keyshawn retired. Yeah, I can't take these dudes. I can't take these dudes. Serious. These jitter boys be hollering about they retired. Yeah, nigga, I don't retire. Ain't nobody. I think they do it for attention. I think they do it for attention, right? Because we remember when T.O. said he retired, Shakur said he retired, and then they don't get the attention they want. They think when they come out and say they retired, like, nigga, don't nobody care about you niggas hollering about y'all retiring. They think somebody gonna come out and say, no, it's gonna be a huge outrage on the media. No, don't retire. Oh, he said he gonna retire. Nigga, I don't care. Somebody hit me up. Man, coach, you know, Tank said he gonna retire. I don't care. He ain't fighting none of the niggas I want to see him fight anyway. So it's just like he retired. You get what I'm saying? You know, these young dudes be hollering about they retired. Fam, I don't care, fam. Leave, good, leave. Go do something else. Go do some, go work out at LA Fitness or something. I don't give a damn. Then they come back 2 weeks later. Yeah, I'm back out of retirement. Man, sir, we don't give a damn. You know you could have kept that shit to yourself, right? You get what I'm saying? He be like, nigga, you 20-some years old hollering about, nigga, you 20-some years old hollering about y'all retiring. I'm talking about any of these fighters that do it. You get what I'm saying? So, so we'll see. We'll see exactly. I really don't know. Because we got, Shakur doing his thing, got Devin doing his thing, Brian Norman doing his thing, Abdullah Mason, he doing his thing. He got a fight coming up on the Riyadh season card. I just don't know. Again, I don't know which one of these younger fighters or which one of the guys are going to be able to take that mantle. So far, it's, it's the old dogs holding it down. And you're not going to be able to manufacture it in this era. This era right here, because you got motherfuckers like me sitting around. I'm like, yeah, baby boy, I hear what you're saying, dog. But hold on, who him is again? Who him is? Who him is right there? Who him is right there? I'm sitting there looking like, okay, who him? God, this nigga, what? He was on the Amazon assembly line. What the fuck? He got emailed the wait. Huh? So he beat who? And who did he beat? He just started boxing yesterday. Well, damn, how you? Well, okay. Well, okay, the nigga just started boxing yesterday. Okay, so you, all right, so you saying all that? Wait, hold on. You basing it on what? Oh, he's not that whole kid cheese, but whole kid cheese is, you get what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, nah, you ain't gonna be able, that shit ain't gonna work with me. True. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna work with me. Then they had these double standards. Some fighters, they say, can do whatever they want to do. Other fighters, when it's a fighter that they like, he can do whatever he want to do. When it's a fighter that they don't like, he got to do what we tell him to do. Always moving the goalpost. Like this what Floyd Mayweather say.
But when you are put in a certain position, he should be he's able to, like me. When I was in a position, I can pick and choose who I want to, because I earned that right.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? They pick and choose who earned the right to, they pick and choose when they decide, okay, well, my fighter, he earned the right to pick and choose who he want to fight. But the nigga I don't like, he ain't never enough. We need him to continue to drink all the tough matches while my fighter get the easy matches.
But this bomb is taking the easy matches. Fight another bomb.
So, so we got that. And then I'm looking at the interview with Dana White, with Steve Kim and Dana White and Mario Lopez. They asking him about TKO boxing. And he said TKO boxing, because Dana White started out in boxing. He said, boxing is his love. Boxing motivated him is his, that's his, that, you know what I mean? So he was talking about, you got people talk, oh man, they repealed the Muhammad Ali Act, and the Muhammad Ali Act was there to protect fighters. Fighters was not protected under the Muhammad Ali Act. Whoop-de-doo. Alert. Fighters wasn't protected under that. Because, they came up with the Muhammad Ali Act allegedly because of Don King. Because Don King was the promoter, and then him have his son as the manager, but his son worked for Don King Promotions. So they're like, it's a conflict of interest. So Don double dipping, right? He get his 30% for being the promoter, but then his son Carl get 50% to manage the fighters. You know what I'm saying? So you walking away with 20%. Look at baby boy. Now my daddy, he got to get his cut. He get his 30 off the ripper. But then I'm managing, I'm managing it. I'm managing you too now. I get 50% of what's left over. You dig? After the 30. You get what I'm saying? So they came up with that. Well, guess what? Al Heyman figured out a way to get around that. Well, guess what Al Heyman do? Well, I ain't no promoter. But what I will be is an advisor. And just like a promotional company that signs a bunch of fighters under their promotional banner, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sign a bunch of fighters under my advisory banner. And then I'm going to work independently with hand-picked promoters that's going to work under the brand of the PBC. So I'm going to have my friends and people who I got relationships with be the promoter for PBC signed fighters. So I'm gonna get my 30% for advisory fee, and then I'm gonna get another cut, from a promotional standpoint through a third party promoter like Tom Brown and Scampson and the Kubas, who I work with hand to hand. True. Yeah. So that's how they got around that. I hope everybody know that. Hey, shout out to the 90s shit. That's how they got around that. Martin say Dana White was an MMA manager before his friends bought the UFC and hired him. Yeah, I know that. I know he was an MMA manager, but I'm saying I'm going by what Dana White said in his interview. He said his first love was boxing. I know that. His first love was boxing, though. I would advise you to watch the interview. Watch the interview, and you'll get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Because he spoke about Arturo Gatti and all that stuff there. And he was talking about how Arturo Gatti, even though, like Arturo Gatti, people took turn whooping his ass. Arturo Gatti was not a skilled fighter. R.I.P. to him and his son. But Arturo Gatti could fight. And he had a rabid fan base, an Italian fan base. They loved Arturo Gatti. So even though Arturo Gatti was getting his ass whipped, HBO kept giving him big contracts. Do you want to know why? Because fans love to see Arturo Gatti fight. They loved it. Arturo Gatti was the modern day Rocky Balboa. Led with his face. Got hit with every punch his opponent threw. Both eyeballs closed. Nose broke. Right jaw broken. Chin fractured. But he was a warrior. He was a warrior. You get what I'm saying? He was a warrior. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was a real life Rocky Balboa right there. You're doing good, Rocco. You're doing good. Hey, I can't see. Where's Adrian? Both eyes closed. In today's time, they call that boxing. Any fighter that show any kind of footwork, who can work angles and jab and feint and manipulate the distance and space with foot feints, head feints, you get what I'm saying? Just parrying shots. Like anybody who doing that, oh man, the nigga running. And then you got real dudes who be running. You got real dudes who running is when you just not engaging at all. Yeah, dog, I'm finna take off, dog. I'm finna run this way, I'm finna run that way, I'm finna run around the corner, dog. Like, fam, is you gonna fight? Is you gonna let your hands go? And cause you gotta sit down on some of these shots. Show the judges that you trying to win, fam. You can fight on the back foot and be engaged. Pernell Whitaker's a perfect example. Pernell let you come to him. He's like the bull in the matador. He was like the matador now. Come on over here. I know you. Come on over here. He gonna be countering your ass all night. Hack up, turning you, weak side, stepping around the weak side. You know what I mean? May put a little probing jab out there, whatever. Great defensively, cat-like reflexes. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I really don't know. I think, me personally, I think the days of the stars, the faces, I think that's over with. And you know what? Normally you will have like this one guy that'll carry the sport and bring a lot of money to boxing, like Mike Tyson. Mike was, man, shit. I keep talking about Mike, cause man, but y'all don't Mike was that guy, dog. Nigga, Mike was that guy. Mike was the opposite of Floyd Mayweather. Mike was the opposite of Floyd. Like, you got people in the streets that can bear witness to what I'm saying. Mike will pull up. He's been in Miami with Convertible Burt, them boys out of Carol City. Mike will pull up in a Lamborghini. There's some real, bro. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. Mike will pull up in a Lamborghini in a Lambo in the hood, shoot dice with dudes on right there. No security. He ain't got no security. People in the neighborhoods, the dope boys or whatever, they gonna watch Mike Tyson and make sure nothing happened to him. True story. True. True story. True story. Mike can do that. As big and popular as he was, Mike can do that. He ain't gonna get robbed. Ain't gonna be none of that. Because the hood, the street, they love Mike Tyson. He was loved like that in Japan, bro. He was loved like that in Japan. He was a global iconic fighter. He like for real though. Well, what fighter? Listen, what fighter shit? What fighter you know in the daytime can do that? I'm saying popular fighter. What popular fighter who you know in today's time that's doing that? See, you got a nigga 10-0 right now. He got security with him. 10-0. This man done went viral on TikTok. Yeah, dog, you can't walk up on me now. Can't just walk up on me. Like, pat him down, talk to him. Hey, listen, talk to him. You can't just walk up on me now. I'm like, damn, fam, like, nigga don't even know. Hey, now this shit. Hey, nigga 10-0, he got 5 dudes around him, security. Bro, play him like, fam, look, my nigga, what you got security for, fam? What you got? Hey, Flex, what you got security for, fam? Like for real, fam, my nigga, like, come on. Don't nobody even know who you is, but they but 2 people in here know who the hell you is. You nigga got security. Biggest Mike was, you gonna see Mike in Brooklyn. You gonna see Mike everywhere. Ain't nobody patting his pockets, none of that. Nigga, motherfuckers nude in the amateurs. He in the amateurs. I had one dude, true story, young fighter. I forgot the fighter name. I think he's from Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, he used to train with Bo McNamara. I forgot the dude's name. I'm at the Pro Box event in Plant City. I forgot this jitterbug name, man. They say his name was popping at one point in time on social media, but when I got on social media, his name wasn't popping no more. But at one point in time, he was popping, right? So I forgot who the jitterbug was. So Bomac was like, hey, what you say, damn? He say, Mike did not check in. No, he damn sure ain't check in. So Bomac was like, look, he said, yeah, coach, check him out, man. Go, let's check him out. You want to interview him? Young fighter. I didn't know who he was. So I don't be interviewing motherfuckers. I really don't know who they is. You know what I mean? Be honest with you. All right, but Bomac was just telling me to interview and stuff like that. I was like, cool. He had his granddaddy with him. I forgot who this young kid name was, man. But he was trained. Either he was from Omaha or he was being trained by Bomac. He was being trained by Bomac, right? And so we're in the locker room in the back looking at the commissioner. The commissioner makes sure, they watch when everybody's hands get wrapped and all that stuff there. Trainer from the other team watch to make sure nothing nefarious is going on. So after the fights, they see Bomac was there. Coach Red was there. I think was Crawford there? I think Crawford was there. He wasn't there. I don't remember. I think maybe he was there. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm sitting down, right? So I sit down. Bomac is over there across from me to my left. The fighter that he was talking about is to my left, sitting down right next to me. And Coach Red is sitting right next to me to my right. So I sit down in the middle and stuff like that. A bunch of people back there after the fight is over with. And when I sit down, Jitterbug say, hey, look here, man. I look down and say, yeah, what's up? Yeah, I don't want no interview. I don't do no interviews. You know what I mean? I like to let my hands do my talking for me. That's exactly what he said. True. I say, bro, who is you again, fam? Don't nobody know you, fam. I wasn't even sitting down to ask you for no interview. I don't know you. No, it wasn't Troy Isley. It wasn't Troy Isley. No, it's not Troy. It's not Troy. I don't even know you. His granddad was right next to him. Yeah, bro, I don't even know you, fam. Like, I honestly never heard of you. I never heard of you before. You get what I'm saying? I've never heard of you before. And I'm like, yeah, he was like, so Bomac. So about 20 minutes later, a lot of people in the back, we talking, doing interviews, whatever. I mean, I wasn't doing the interviews, but other people back there doing interviews. So Bomac said, what's up? What'd he say? You interview? I said, bro, I ain't even asking for no interview, bro. The man sat down and told me that he don't do interviews. He better let his hands do the talk for him. And he was like, the man was like 12 and 1 or something like that. Nah, it wasn't Shakur. It wasn't Shakur Stevens. No, it ain't Shakur Stevens. The man was like 12 and 1. My nigga, more people know me in boxing than they know you. And I'm not even a boxer. True. It was an honor and a privilege for you to interview me, if anything. Don't nobody know you, fam. Motherfuckers stopping me all in pro box. Coach, man, I watch the show. Ain't nobody stopping you. And you trained by Bomac. True. I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you what God love. People saw you in the ring, on pro box, in the ring boxing, as one of the preliminary, one of the what the fight is. You got the main event, the co-main event, and then you got the card, right? You were just one of the fighters on the card. Motherfuckers still weren't stopping you. They stopping me. Come on, fam. Anyway, so it is what it is. I forgot that jitterbug name. Man, I forgot that jitterbug name, boy. Cause I gotta put his name out there. And I don't see this jitterbug nowhere now. I don't see him nowhere, nothing. If I say his name, y'all gonna know who it is. If I say his name, y'all gonna know who it is. But anyways, let's get ready to get into the show.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name, you know.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Yeah, man, some of these, man, I don't know, some of these niggas, man, like, shit, damn. You get what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, you don't know how to build your brand or none of that. Don't nobody know who you is, fam. You act like you 19, you act like you 1982, 83, anything 80s Michael Jackson. You act like when you step outside, women running at you, screaming, and you got to run because there's a droves of women come. Bro, you walk outside, don't nobody know who you is. Nobody know you. Anyways, yeah. I just gotta call the spade a spade. Because some of these niggas be getting out. Of line, dog. You gotta look here. I'm like, look here, fam. You know what I mean? Bomac was looking out for you, if anything. Nah, this a black fighter. Young dude, black fighter. He probably about 25, 26, somewhere up in there now. I forgot how old this jitterbug was, man. Damn, Bomac trained him though. He over there with Bomac, the black fighter, young black fighter. I'm trying to think. I know his name. If I see it. I don't even remember his name, bro. I don't even remember his name. I don't even remember his name, bro. I don't remember the guy. I don't remember his name at all. Shout out to Dr. Tony. Lolo, that's who it is. Somebody said it in the chat. Z Pacino. He said, damn, I hope you ain't talking about Charles Low Harris. Yeah, that's let me write this nigga name down. Lolo Harris. That's his name. Man. Lolo Harris. Somebody said it in the chat. I know it. Bro, I forgot the dude's name. Lolo Harris. Yeah, that guy. Lolo. I'm telling what God loves. Lolo. Like for real. He say Lolo Cole. I ain't never heard of him. I'm just saying, if he cold, ain't nobody making videos about him. Ain't nobody talking about him. I'm just saying. Calling a spade, fam. True. Yeah, I'm calling a spade. I ain't never heard of the nigga. You know, this ain't me shit. No, I'm telling you exactly what happened. Bomac could tell you. If he remember, we were right there. This that pro boss. I'm dead ass it. That's exactly what happened, bro. I'm like, man, I don't know. Bro, ain't nobody talk about this nigga. Ain't nobody. So if he cold, he must be cold all to his goddamn self, because I ain't heard of him. Nobody talking about him right now, but somebody in the chat just brought him up. So anyway, you know, I just call a spade. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Anyway, man, shout out to everybody, man. I'm finna get ready to drop these phone lines in a minute. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson, the 10 runners of PYTs, the honey dips, and the snowball. Hey. Yeah. Oh, that look good. Sorry about that. That was the face of boxing. Let's give a shout out to Dr. Umar and the Snow Bunnies. Dr. Umar, where you at, baby boy? Baby boy, where are you at?
See her eyes shining, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of cream. Talk to my nose, this love has got it so raw. Make you move, step and I come out of control. It's me against the light, snow bunny. Moving on the bar, everything's alright. Got that smooth, so good. No, that's dancing in the lawn. With my snow bunny love. We're party by the night. See her eyes shining, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of cream. Talk to my nose, this love has got it so raw. Make you move, step and I come out.
the sisters don't like Snow Bunny Love. The brothers like it though. So the brothers like Snow Bunny Love. The sisters don't like Snow Bunny Love. You get what I'm saying? So I had to cut it short. I had to cut it. I had to. They always playing that. Niggas promoting. Hey, man.
That's wrong, that's wrong. He did nothing to you.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I just be, you know what I mean? Hey, I just be trolling though. That shit be hanging. Hey, that song here, jam though. You say what you want to say. That's a hit. That's a hit record right there. That's a hit right there. Listen, if they ever go on tour with that song, I'll go to the concert. I'll buy a ticket for that. Me, and the rest of my Puerto Ricans.
I felt like a Puerto Rican in this hair. I felt Puerto Rican. Y'all know I love me some Puerto Rican. I felt Puerto Rican in this. Rican.
And you get what I'm saying? Listen, as long as you ain't doing as long as you ain't buck dancing, as long as you ain't buck dancing for butter biscuits.
Oh, Miss Hillary. Oh, so good to see you, Miss Hillary. I love you, Miss Hillary. Welcome to TV1. Oh, Lord. I dance with Master. I dance with Master. I dance with Master. I dance with Master.
See, as long as you ain't dancing, as long as you ain't buck dancing for massa, soft shoe cooning, as long as you ain't soft shoe cooning, buck dancing for massa, you good. About that, we find out y'all doing that. We saw y'all both doing the Bojangles. We see you doing that. We gotta call y'all. Hey, shout out to New Country. Hey, country. As long as we ain't, you get what I'm saying? Cause we gotta this nigga doing too much. All this goddamn soft shoe cooning and buck dancing and all that stuff there. Man, over there, man. We can't do that. Now, I'm looking at this here, right? Check this out. I'm looking at this right here. Let's go right here. We got the old guard right here, right? We got Canelo to the left. We got Crawford over here to the right. I think he's the oldest. Crawford 38, Canelo 35. We got Shakur Stevenson back here. We got David Benavidez. You get what I'm saying? We got Boots Ennis over here. We got Devin Haney over here. We got Brian Norman Jr. over here. It's a whole bunch of other fighters that could be here, but it just, you ain't gonna be able to see everybody. Right? You got Abdullah Masons, somebody said Keyshawn Davis, somebody said, just a whole bunch of other fighters, right? A whole bunch of other fighters. I'm trying to see. You got I said Shakur. Who else we got? Who's some of the young fighters we got? Jaleel Hackins. We got Keith Cologne. We got the young jitter boy Keith Cologne. He out of Jersey. We got it's a bunch of them. It's a Oshaki. We got Raymond Ford. We got Caleb Plant's still around. I guess he's still around. You know what? Like some of these fighters who've been out of the ring for like over 2 years. It's like if you fighting once a year, that's one thing. At least we know you gonna fight every year. It may only be once, but you gonna fight every year. We know that. But like some of these guys, like the Charlo, we don't know what's up with them. They've been boxing 17, 18 years. Jamel turned pro in 2007. Jamal turned pro 2008. So you got those guys. All of them are part of the old guard too, but they wasn't able to. I would say this. I'll say that, okay, Canelo and Crawford still around. You know what I mean? Like, they still here performing at a high level at this age. at this age. You get what I'm saying? So, the younger guys, Benavidez, I like Benavidez. And it's not about, for me, it's not about being undefeated and all that stuff there, because, some of my favorite fighters have losses. A loss doesn't define the greatness of the fighter. Like one of my favorite fighters, James Lightside Tony, he got like 10 losses because he fought a long time. But James Tony had skills. Like, even when he lost to Roy, he had skills. And then even when Roy fell off a cliff, because Roy was very, very talented. One of my favorite fighter at that time was Roy Jones in the 90s. That was my guy. I love Roy Jones. You know what I mean? Florida boy. I'm going to ride with Florida 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. If you're a great fighter. If he ain't great now, you could be from Florida, but if you mediocre, I don't ride with mid. True. I'll rock with you, but it ain't gonna be no, you know what I mean? I'll rock with, like, you from Florida, but we're gonna get behind you, but we understand there's levels to it. You don't have the skill set. Roy had that skill set from a talent standpoint, but Roy Jones did not have the fundamentals. He was not fundamentally sound. So he was able to get away with a lot of stuff like leaping left hooks with your chin in the air. He was able to get away with that because he was fast enough and athletic enough to do it. But when his athleticism left him and it came down to the fundamentals, that people like Carl Zeiger was able to just beat him like it wasn't nothing. Antonio Tarver was able to knock him out. Glenn Jones and, was it Glenn Jones, Glenn Johnson? I forgot the dude's name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. He just, you know what I mean? But James Toney was still whooping motherfucker. Like, he beat Jirov. Baddest motherfucker Ukraine, come out of Ukraine at that time. He beat Holyfield, but Holyfield was old, but he beat some other heavyweights and stuff like that. And I think he beat Ruiz and all. You know what I'm saying? And you saw the skills. You saw the footwork. You saw the step around. You saw the slip, the roll, countering in the pocket. You still saw that. When you saw Roy as he got older, you didn't see any of that. You didn't see any of that. So, and it took me years to really break it down and acknowledge it. I said, you know what, man, Roy was my favorite fighter. But even though he beat James Toney was the better overall boxer. He was a better overall boxer. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at, like, the fundamentals. And if you look at somebody like a Bernard Hopkins, the fundamentals carried him a long way. Because Bernard Hopkins, there was nothing about B-Hop that you can say was so special about him. He wasn't the fastest. He didn't have the quickest jab. He didn't have the, he had good footwork. Bernard Hopkins had underrated footwork. But he didn't, he didn't have like Pernell Whitaker like footwork or nothing of that sort. Or, you know what I mean? But, but B-Hop was able to last as long as he was able to last, because he beat a lot of dudes just off the fundamentals. He beat a lot of dudes just off of the fundamentals. So those fundamentals will carry you a long way. When all else fails, those fundamentals will carry you. Do you get what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at these fighters. I'm like, bro, I think the era of face of boxing in America, that's over with. Because this is the schedule. I want y'all to look at this fight schedule. This is Ring Magazine. October 17th, 2025, Friday, there's a fight in the UK. Conway versus Leonard. This is for the British title. Saturday, this weekend, Danny Garcia versus Daniel Gonzalez. 10 battles, one iconic arena, the final bow at the Barclays. So Danny Garcia is promoting this fight with his promotion company. He calling it the final bow. He got him a tomato can he gonna whoop up on. He picked him for a reason. So, you know what I mean? Danny, guess what? Ain't nobody checking for Danny Garcia. Just being honest with you. Nobody. They ain't nobody checking for Danny Garcia. He had his heyday. He was under the PBC banner. The PBC dead now. They over. It's over with for them. And Danny, you know what I mean? But God bless him. God bless Danny Garcia. And I think this fight, is this fight on pay-per-view? It better not be on pay-per-view. How do you watch this fight? Who will win this fight? Let me go in and Danny will win. Yeah, Danny gonna win. He gonna win by KO. Yeah, he gonna win by knockout. I'm picking Danny. You get what I'm saying? So that's it right there. We got Danny. So that's what's this weekend. That's what we got to look forward to this weekend. We got Danny. Then we got some women boxing on Juarez versus Neri Plata. So we got that right there. Then next weekend we have Joseph Parker versus Fabio Waterley. Now on paper this looks like it's a good fight. Main event, Queensberry. I like this matchup right here. Then we got Frazier Clark next Saturday as well. Frazier Clark, he's on Boxer. This is for the British title. Frazier Clark versus TKV. Okay. Then I think this is in the Philippines. We got the IBF Strawweight Championship fight in the Philippines. That's on us next Sunday. Then we got something going down in the Philippines again on a Wednesday. So why am I showing y'all this? Ain't nothing going on here in America. True. November 8th, we got Virgil Ortiz. We don't spoke about him yesterday. He ain't got no fan base like that. There's no excitement about him right now. None. Floyd Schofield is fighting on the undercard. I think he the co-main event. He fighting JoJo Diaz. So we ought to know what this is. They feeding an old dog to a young dog. JoJo Diaz is there to get the check. Your kid gonna beat him, get a name on his belt. He got two names. I beat Tevin Farmer. I beat JoJo Diaz. Those guys were champions. You get what I'm going at? Those guys was former champions and this and that. And my son beat those guys. Those guys have years of experience. Yeah, but that's an old dog that's out the pasture. What I told y'all. It ain't, when you win a belt or beat somebody, you might be the name, but it's when you fought him. Did you fight him in his prime? No. If the man 7-8 years past his prime, yeah, you got the name on your resume. But come on, fam, we know what it is. True. They taking turns kicking JoJo Diaz ass right now. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it right there. And then November 14th, you got a spectacle fight. Celebrity boxers. You got an influencer boxer. You got celebrity / influencer boxer Jake Paul versus celebrity / newly influencer boxer Tank Davis. And then we got the lovely Elisa Baumgartner and Layla Boudin fighting on that undercard. Then we got Gary Antoine Russell fighting on that undercard. One thing I will say about Jake Paul, he keep a pretty good undercard. I got to give him that. That's it. So in America, we got Jake Paul and Tank to look forward to in November. We got Virgil Ortiz. Who Virgil fight? Oh, he fighting Lubin. Him and Erickson Lubin. I know a lot of people I know say they saying Erickson Lubin is a live dog in this fight. They got more faith in him than me. Let's see. Yeah. That's about it. Then we got Danny Garcia right here coming up this weekend. Know y'all excited about that. Let me go ahead and drop these phone lines, man. Phone lines open.
You want to talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
Call the coach at 530-494-9636. We waiting on your bitch ass. Yeah. I'm like young Dolph. Yeah. Yeah, what y'all dogs say, right? Hold on, y'all wait. Hold on. Caller, hold on. Let me connect my damn, I thought I had the Bluetooth connected. Let's see. Bluetooth. Connect. All right, we connected. All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey Mo, what's good with you, Slim? I'm gonna be honest with you. It is. You say there's no way. I disagree with that. And who I'm gonna say is it's got to be Boots. Boots is the only way that you can create the next. And you talking about an American pay?
What happened?
An American pay-per-view star, correct?
No. I'm not talking about pay-per-view. That pay-per-view dead. That's over with.
No, you talking about the next American star, right?
Yeah. Not pay-per-view star, but just like next superstar. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you that Boots can be the next star in the American star in general. Well, and then you got to add pay-per-view, so that has to come with the territory. So what I mean by that is, so it's got to be Boots. And the reason why I'm gonna say Boots is because Boots is from Philly. Boots have all the attributes they say he has. Boots is in a perfect division where he can fight 54, 60, and max out at probably 68, maybe 75. We don't know. He had all the boxes there. You had Virgil. He's gonna represent Mexico. You got Xander Zayas. He's gonna represent Puerto Rico. You have a lot of Eastern Europeans. You got Chris Eubank Jr. You got Conor Benn. He can easily get those fights based off of Eddie. You dig what I'm telling you? So the avenue for Boots to be the man is there. Mm-hmm. Now it's about him taking the risk. You dig what I'm telling you? He's from Philly, so you got the pizzazz, he got the swag behind him. He don't got a great mouthpiece, but he got enough where he can sell it. So you dig what I'm telling you? He's selling out Philly. That's half the battle. He got Wallow and Gilly. Everything is there for Boots to be that guy. But you gotta get that motherfucker out of bubble wrap, Slim. You gotta get him out of bubble wrap. And this is what I'm gonna also say. And Eddie can cut Ronald Trump the check for this invoice. What he needed to do is clout chase Jake Paul. Be like, all right, man, enough of this fake ass shit this motherfucker doing, man. At the end of the day, Slim, if he gonna fight little ass Reggie, you might as well fight the so-called the next king of the motherfucking boxing and just clout chase him until this motherfucker has to fight him. You dig what I'm telling you? So everything can be like, I'm gonna attach my name to Jake Paul. So when Jake Paul make these garbage ass fights, people gonna ask, well, why you ain't fighting the motherfucker from Philly named Boots at 54, 60? How come you won't fight Boots? That's all he got to do. The avenues is there for Boots to be that motherfucking guy, Slim, but he got to get out of that bubble wrap, Mo. He got to get out of bubble wrap. I would say Virgil, but Virgil ain't that type of guy. Virgil more about, he blue collar, Slim. Virgil's going to knock you out about his business, go play a guitar and chill the fuck out. He ain't for all that. But Boots he wants that limelight and it's there for him. But I'm going to hands down say Boots, and it's there. But that's all I got for you, Slim.
All right, salute, fam. Hey, Ron Boy make a valid point. You know what? I forgot all about that. I didn't really look at it. I didn't really look at it from that perspective. He right. Everything is lined up, set up right there for Boots to be that next guy, because because his promoter and his handlers are already attached him to Crawford. So you got that angle, but then and then he is getting a lot of the hype and the publicity and stuff like that based on sparring stories and hold on. And he's already getting that type of hyperbole already. Now he's got to come back. Look, man, you got a resume is pure D. How I do. He got to try to combat that. But I do kind of see what he's saying now. Like, he is the guy that you can hit your wagon behind. But this is the thing. He's going to have to fight those top guys. See, what made Sugar Ray Leonard and what made great fighters great is the type of risk that they take. The type of risk. Are you willing to take risk? Fight, get what I'm saying? So that's what made Sugar Ray Sugar Ray. It wasn't because his name was Sugar Ray. It was nickname anyways. wasn't because this guy name was Hagler or Hearns or whatever. It's who they fought when they fought him and what type of risk they was willing to take in order to establish their greatness. That's what I want to see from this era right here. The risk. Caller, what's your name? We called it from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin, talk to me.
Yeah, Coach. I agree with Ron Boy, but another person that I think could become the face of boxing if he gets his head out of his ass is Keyshawn Davis. Because Keyshawn Davis has the personality and he has the skills and he's at a perfect weight class. You know, he's leaving 135, so he's going to be 140, 147, thereabouts. And that's perfect because there's a lot of competition there. There's a lot of known fighters there because that's what hurts a lot of guys is that you move up in weight and everybody's like, well, who the hell is he fighting? They don't know if these guys are any good or not.
Yeah.
And I think if Keyshawn can refocus himself, good thing he got a good team, you know, around him with, you know, Bomac and stuff. You know, he could do it, Coach. He could do it.
But is he still fighting though? I heard somebody told me that he announced he retired. No. No. I saw a video. I saw a video where he said he done. He said I'm done. He said he done boxing or whatever. I mean, didn't nobody really care, but.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope not, because, you know, that's a waste of potential right there, because he could really do some things, Coach. I like the guy. I've seen him do an interview funny, and, you know, he got up close and personal, and it made me more of a fan for him. I was way more disappointing that, you know, he missed weight, and then that little clown shit that, you know, he pulled in the locker room, whatever. But if he gets his mind right, Coach, I could see him pulling it off, whereas all these other guys, they either got the mouthpiece but don't have the skills, got the skills, but they're quiet as a church mouse. And I think he's the best of both worlds. I could honestly see him because that's the one thing that Boots don't have. Boots a nice guy, Virgil nice guy, but they have zero personality, you know, and they got to get out of that shell to make people, you know, root for them or go out of their way to, you know, see one of their fights. But that's what I think it is, Coach.
All right, shout out to Martin. Salute, fam. You know what? I'm looking at I'm still stuck on what Ron Boy saying. Boots, I think Boots, man. Now that I think about it, he is the one. Because like, again, Virgil Ortiz, ain't nobody really talking about him like that. Like he ain't really got no fan base like that at all. No, and I like normally, you know, you'll figure, okay, he's a Mexican fighter. They gonna get behind him, man. Shit, ain't nobody talking about no Virgil Ortiz like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I think Boots is a lot more, you know. But he got to fight those fights though. See, that's the thing. He got to fight those fights because, Carla, hold on, because we need, you know, he got to fight those fights because we need to see. All right, because we don't want to be fooled. We don't want to be fooled. We don't want to like a nigga look like he the part and then he really getting there with somebody who can punch and he get caught a couple of times and then he start doing something totally different. Like we need to see that. We hearing about what he's doing in sparring, but the level of competition is not adding up to what we're hearing from the story standpoint. So, you know what? Now that I think about it, from a black fighter standpoint, he got to fight the fights. He got to, you know what? He's in a perfect opportunity. Boots is in a perfect opportunity to be that one, like Rob Boy saying. But he got to fight the Backrams, the Fundoras, he got to clean out that 154. And then say, okay, I'm going to 160. He got to do that to Virgil Ortiz. Even though Virgil ain't got no belt, but he got to do that. Anyways, that's a big name guy, you know? Carla, what's your name? We called from?
Hey, what up, Coach? It's Coach Ed from ATL.
Coach Eddie, talk to me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Ron Boy hit the nail right on the head, man. Just like you just broke down. Also, if he can get all them guys at 54, that's going to definitely catapult him. Mm-hmm. But it's also going to be the frequency that he fights. He's going to have to fight every 4 months. Do what Canelo did. Fight every 3 to 4 months. Canelo was fighting 4 times in 1 year at some time.
Every 3 months.
That's going to keep him on the tube. And that's going to keep him on the tube. And that's going to keep eyes on him. And not only that, it's so many potential matchups. You still got the Brian Norman fight out there that can still happen if Brian Norman chooses to move up to 54. Mm-hmm. You got Ryan Garcia who can move to 54. Yeah. You got Devin Haney who can move to 54. So not only do they have opponents at 54 and 60, you got guys that can potentially move up and challenge him. because that seems to be a thing right now. These guys are moving up to different weight classes, chasing the bag or chasing these legacy fights. So Boots is going to be the hunted at some point in time. Once you start getting all these accolades and following the path of Terence Crawford, if he could duplicate what Terence Crawford is doing by unifying these divisions and then become the hunter where everybody wants to fight him, he's going to be the man. And this is just, wishful thinking, but Terence Crawford will be the icing on the cake, the final boss, if he's able to get that somehow. I don't think it'll happen, but just hypothetically, if he could get Terence Crawford the icing on the cake, he'll be that guy. And if he's able to defeat,
if he can get him and beat him, he got to beat him.
If he can defeat an aging Terence Crawford, a 40-year-old Terence Crawford, even though Terence is a great fighter, but all-time undefeated. You know what I'm saying? And by the time that fight happens, if it does happen, Crawford will be about 40 years old.
Yeah, that ain't gonna. That
fight as old lion versus new lion.
Yeah, that fight ain't gonna happen. So I know that for a fact. But we can just talk about it for hypothetical sake for conversation.
Yeah, hypothetically, Crawford will be the final boss, man. But like I said, he just got the world is an oyster right now. The biggest thing, he just got to keep winning. And Eddie Hearn can't be cheap. He got to pay these guys to get this guy in a position where he needs to be. That way, he can just be the hunter. Everybody wants to fight Boots, and that's gonna create buzz around you too. Everybody gonna fight Boots, and I'm still interested in that Norman Boots fight. I know Norman's gonna have to move up, but hey, people been doing it, so if they can make that fight happen, that'd be a good fight also. Yeah. So that's my call, Coach.
Salute, fam. Yeah. Like me, I'm like, from a marketability standpoint, Rob was saying pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is done. So you can't make no pay-per-view star in 2026 and beyond. Like there's no pay-per-view is done from a boxing standpoint. So it has to be something else. And how you build your stardom, you gotta fight the top name guys. It's as simple as that. Because see that's the downside. Carla, hold on. See, that's the downside of when you go to comparing somebody to great fighters, people gonna say, okay, are you willing to do what the great fighters done? You just can't get it just all fame and clout and call it, you know what I mean? Like it's what you do from this point forward. You have to earn your keep. That's just where it's at right now. And I don't get caught up in the fandom or the male groupie stuff and all that. Yeah, all that's fine. Yeah, whatever y'all say. I ain't even arguing with y'all. Whatever y'all say, I know how it go. I know what Holyfield did. I know what Tito Trinidad did. What Oscar De La Hoya did. What Pretty Boy Floyd did. And Money May. I know what Alexander Usyk had to do. James Toney had, you get what I'm saying? I know that. So all the other shit, I ain't even tripping on that. Bernard Hopkins had to do. Bernard had to get it the hard way for real. He ain't have it like it's laid out for Boots right now. Like B-Hop had to get it the hard way. Carla, what's your name? You call it from?
Rich, call him KC. Yeah,
Rich.
Hopkins had to get it the hard way. Tony too. Remember James Toney had to go beat Michael Nunn at home.
Yep.
Just to get, But I think the face, like how you said, pay-per-view is dead, Coach. I think that whole face thing is dead. I think we can have multiple faces. Like the Mexican market is wide open with Canelo out the way. The American market, like you can have Boots, Shakur, Devin, a bunch of young Americans that's running the game where they all can be cash cows in their own way. Then you still got that Mexican market where you can have a Bam Rodriguez, David Benavidez. They can get them dates. Now the Canelo out the way. I think Turkey kind of killing that face thing by just making the big fights. And I think the more big fights we get, the more people tag on the more fighters instead of just one fighter, everybody chasing him. I think we need to push everybody to where it ain't no more faces. Because that face shit really done turned into duck talk. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that duck shit. Now, ain't no more faces. Everybody is everybody. And ain't no more faces. Like, let's just see the fights.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of leaning towards like what you're saying as well. I hear what Ron Boy is saying. He's right about that. Boots could probably be the guy that, from a marketing standpoint, we can get behind. But how is that going to help? Pretty much like the other fighters. Like it's going to have to be a collective effort. Multiple fighters. Like you had Tyson in the 90s, but then you also had Oscar De La Hoya. Then later on, Floyd Mayweather came. Then you had Floyd. You had Roy around at that time. James Toney around at that time. So you got to have multiple people. And then to be honest with you, Rich, the business model, the way it is right now with Turk Al Sheikh, paying these fighters just crazy amounts of money that they would never ever make in their lives. I'm talking about the top guys. It's not a sustainable market. It's not going to stay like that. It's going to come a point in time to where these fighters who are getting paid this buku shitload of money, that's not going to be there no more. It's not. Because it's not a sustainable business model. It's not going to stay that way. I can promise you that.
Yeah. It's not, but I think it'll push the sport forward to the point to where people won't be just locked on to, I don't want to say dude's name, but you know, people ain't going to be just locked on to, oh, he the face, and he ain't did nothing. Now you're going to have Shakur fighting everybody, Devin fighting everybody, Goose fighting everybody, he fighting everybody, he fighting everybody. Them are the faces. You know, boxing is the face now.
Right.
Like how football and basketball is, you know, multiple good teams, multiple good players. It ain't no just, it's a, you know, collective thing, like you said. That's it, though, Coach.
All right, salute, man. Shout out to Rich, man. KC, stand up, man. Kansas City in the house. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's why when you always hear the old cats like myself and older, they be like, they always talk about who they always bring up. Ray Leonard. You get what I'm saying? Ray was cold. Now he fought some cans, he did, but Ray was cold with it though. He performed, people loved him, he was marketable. Ray, Carl, hold on. Let me tell you something too. Ray Leonard was very charming. He was a great speaker, very charming with the media. The ladies loved him. He was smooth, you know what I mean? Like Tommy Hearns was looked upon as a hitman and assassin. He called himself the hitman. Mean dude. Hagler was no nonsense. Roberto Duran was just a savage. Ray was smooth like butter. Hagler was my guy, but Ray was smooth like butter. Ray could, you get what I mean? Ray could, he the pretty boy. I go in there whoop a nigga. He was going the boy before going the boy. I whoop a nigga ass with a smile on my face. And then later on that night, I take a girl out to dinner. And then you may see me at the Grammys with a suit on, hosting the Grammys. And then you'll see me at a backstage with Michael Jackson, watching Mike do the moonwalk. You get what I'm saying? Ray was multifaceted. This old pretty ass nigga Ray Leonard. Anyways, shout out to Boxing Talk up north for being a member for 2 months. He said Abdullah Mason has the Sugar Ray Leonard likeness. I think he can be the new face. Yeah, I like Abdullah Mason. Shout out to Mega Royale. Dropping that quote over. Bam, dub on your boy. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? M1 from the BX.
M1 from the BX. Talk to me.
Yo, I think it's gonna be Keyshawn Davis because he has that charisma. As long as as long as they forgive him for that last little episode that happened, which I think they will because they forgave all these other suckers that did some crap shit. But and Booth, I don't think so unless he goes to 160 right now, try to snatch a belt, and call Crawford out and try to get that fight. But he got to go to 160 right now. He can't wait. I think that's the only way. And I don't even think he could beat Crawford. But, we got to watch the fight to see who's going to do it. But I believe it's Keyshawn. I think he got the charisma. I think he got the boxing skill. And he's with the perfect team, man.
Yeah, I think this is the big picture, big parts y'all dropping, right? It's not, you can have the perfect team, you can have all of that. You have to fight the fights. There's no getting there's no getting around that. And that's a process. So I hear what you're saying, when Booth go get the Crawford fight. You can't skip no fight, none of your contemporaries that's there actively calling you out, or Bachram say he ready, or you can't not fight any of your contemporaries. All you guys who's supposed to be the top guys like the Ortizes and stuff, and think you just gonna get straight to a cross. It don't work that way. You have to fight the fights. There's no shortcuts in this shit. You got to fight the fights. You get what I'm saying? And so you got to clean out them boys down there and who around your weight division. Yeah, that it's as simple as that. That's how it's always been done. You just couldn't get just straight to Ray Leonard. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right, Coach. I just because Ron Boy said the Boots, but I really don't think so because he don't have no charisma. He don't have. I don't think he got skills, but we gotta see them. We gotta see them in the ring. And I believe that Keyshawn will fight the fights. Anybody that call him out, I believe that he will fight the fights, and he got a good odds of winning a lot of fights. And he got power. He got skills. The kid got skills.
All right,
and he got charisma.
All right, but so shout out to N1 Salute, fam. See, that's the thing. See. The thing is when you look at those guys like the Ray Leonards, the Roys, the Tonys, the De La Hoyas and stuff. What made Golden Boy the Golden Boy? He wasn't the Golden Boy just because he was the Golden Boy. He was the Golden Boy because he got the fights. He fought goddamn Ike Cortez. He fought Tito Trinidad. Like these dudes of this era, they got to fight their contemporaries. If they don't fight their contemporaries, the hype, the YouTube channels, the fanfare is not going to sustain you. You cannot, there's no shortcuts to this shit. You can't manufacture this shit. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
My bad. So let me double back. Y'all keep saying Keyshawn and this. There is nobody Keyshawn can fight. That's who. Okay, y'all keep people saying other boxers, but it's nobody more. As much as we said Virgil is not popular, he's more popular than everybody at 140. Like, you understand? He's more popular than everybody at 47, not named Ryan Garcia. And you might, and him and Teofimo technically on the same level because if you look about it, Virgil done sold more tickets and headline bigger venues than Teofimo. So we can't sit here and say Keyshawn, y'all, it's no fighters for them to fight. The only boxer that makes sense is everything is lined up for Boots. He's in the best division. And all I got to do is say one other name, and it ain't about Bud. Bud is in a whole different tax bracket at this point. That shit is past. They should have fought Bud when they was at Black Prime. That shit is done. You know who to fight? It's Mel Charlo. That's it. That's going to do it. You fight Virgil, beat Virgil, and beat Mel Charlo, two motherfuckers from Texas. Boy, you on your way, Slim. You are on your way. Ain't nothing Keyshawn and them can do because they lost their gravy train when Reggie was on his sucker shit. That's the reason why Shakur never make it. That's the reason why Benavidez will never make it is because he lost his gravy train with Canelo. So that's it. It's all about Boots. Everything is lined up for Boots. And ain't nothing y'all can say can change that shit, Slim, because the names and everything is there for him. But that's all I got, Mo.
Nice little fam. I mean, y'all heard Ron Barfred. That's his opinion. He say everything run through Boots. So, that's his opinion. Shout out to damn it, Coach Ron. He say, but it ain't about popularity. It's about rankings in the division. It's about rankings in any division out there. Not just the top guys. Listen, it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. For me, it's simple. You say you King Kong, then go fight Godzilla. Carla, hold on. You say you Megatron, go fight Optimus Prime. Who in your division? We got Optimus Prime, Megatron, the GoBots. We got Voltron. My fighter, there's no question. He'll beat all of those guys. Okay, once you said out of your mouth, Eddie Hearn, that your fighter would beat all of those guys, guess what your job is now? Go make those fights. Show us he'll beat all of those guys. See, ain't nothing to talk about, because the thing is about, we want to see action with the words now. We want to see action with the words. You said out of your mouth, he would beat all of those guys in his division. Guess what? It's time to prove it now. That's it. That's all. It's time to prove it now. Anything else outside of, we don't want to hear man, we really can't make the fight, because anytime Turk out she get involved, a fight get made like that. So we don't want to hear nothing about none of that. Now you gotta do that shit now. You have to do that shit. Y'all 35 fights deep, fam. 35 fights, 36 fights deep. Fam, it's now or never. You said he gonna do ABC, gonna beat all those dudes. Guess what? He got to fight him now. His next fight got to be one of those dudes you said we automatically know he'll beat. That is as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. Carla, what's your name? You called it from?
Man, Coach, what's happening, man? Casino like Fred, man.
Casino, talk to me.
Man, so the question is, what American fighter will become the face of boxing, right?
Yeah, the next face of boxing, yeah. You know, if any.
All right, so look, whoever wins on November 22nd in the real main event, because the real main event ain't even the main event but whoever wins between Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney on November 22nd, if it's in great fashion, whoever wins, if it's in great fashion, that's the number one guy right now. Like right now, the Boots got that recency shit, you know what I'm saying? But somebody called not too long ago, they were saying like, really, the sport of boxing can be the face, but in order for that, like y'all said, everybody got to fight consistently. You know what I'm saying? If everybody fight consistently, because it'll be just back and forth, and that's how the big mega fights will get made. Because you know, like the recency bias. I mean, the recency bias. Like Boots just fought, so now everybody talking about Boots. But November next month, if Brian Norman Jr. do what he do, ain't nobody gonna be talking about Boots in November. It's gonna be all Brian Norman talk. Then Boots gonna have to come right back and steal the spotlight right back. Then Brian Norman come right back and steal it back. And then it's like they gotta fight together, and then it'll be like a mega fight. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like everybody, like, it's between Brian Norman Jr. because that's who I got winning on November 22nd. But it'll be between Brian Norman Jr. and Boots, and they close enough in size where if they just keep stealing each other's spotlight and being the talk of the town and putting on great performances, that fight will be huge. That fight will be huge. Like,
build up. Yeah.
I say like the beginning. I put it like this: at the top of 2027, if Brian Norman Jr. handle his business in November and he go on a tear, if he knock 3 niggas out in 2026 and Boots knock 3 niggas out in 2026. Them niggas could fight in February 2027, and that shit'll be a big ass motherfucking fight. That's how I feel.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I didn't even look at it that way. But listen, Casino, man, thank you, brother, for calling. Yeah, I didn't even look at it that way. But shout out to Casino, man. ATL, stand up. Yeah. So I see what he's saying. There's an attachment with B. Norman Jr. and Boots because they don't sparred each other before. You know, a lot of the shit that happened in the past with them trying to make a fight, Eddie Hearn offering them money, you know, 10 times more than what, according to what they were saying, more than what he made before. And then he ended up making that money fighting Jen Sasaki and stuff like that. Like, you know, this is what I want, fam. I just want these dudes and all these guys who you say is the guy. I want these dudes to just get out there and they got to fight each other, bro. This is the problem when you go to comparing these dudes to these legends. Don't compare them because listen, you can't compare to the legend if you're not doing what the legend did. It was what the legend did in the ring which made him the legend. His work ethic and who he fought when he fought them was what made him a legend, not the simple fact that social media, we got a bunch of people online leaving comments about you. No. You gotta do what he did for your time, or at least strive for that. These fights ain't hard to make. These niggas just scared. Carla, what's your name? You calling from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie, talk to me.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, great question. You got me thinking over here, to be honest with you. This is something I never thought about. But you know, all the callers, great point. Ron Boy, everything he said about Boots, it's so clear to me. I mean, it looks like the guy is on the driver's side right now. But we're going to see. Look, Coach, you know, Keyshawn was on his way. He fucked up, but, you know, we all make mistakes when we're young, so he can bounce back. You know, I don't have a doubt about that. But, you know, also Benavidez, Duvall, Teal, Shakur, man, Haney, Norman Jr. There's a lot, man. There's a lot, bro. But like you say, Coach, they have to be willing to fight the fight. And not only that, they have to win. You know what I'm saying? And also, we have to keep in mind, they are weight classes that are more popular than others. So if you're fighting around the weight class that's very popular and there's other fighters out there that you can fight, make big fights, that helps. You know what I mean? But the key here is you must win. You know what I mean? And you got to fight, bro. You can't be scared of taking L, bro. You got to risk. You got to risk that O. So there's a lot of fighters out there, man. I mean, Brian Norman Jr., man. Hey, what Casino was saying, man. Also, bro, solid point. I mean, but again, they have to fight, man. You know what I mean? Man, you got me thinking over here, bro. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, listen, the thing is, they have to fight. So I'm going to leave it at that. All right? I'm going to head back to work. Salute to everybody and respect to you from New York, Coach.
All right, salute, fam. Now, about the winning part of it, right? I'm going to say yeah and no about the winning part. Because I was looking at the interview they had what's my name? Dana White was on the 3 Knockdown Rule podcast. He spoke about Arturo Gatti. I spoke about him earlier. And like, even if you're known to come and bring it and put like Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado said that he was the best gatekeeper in the history of boxing or something like that, right? Like, look at Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado never won a title. He got like 18 losses. You know what I mean? But he was a ticket seller. He was he helped sell a main event with the guy. He knew he was a gatekeeper. He lose all his step up fights. Gabe knew that. He lose all his step up fights and all that stuff there. That's true. However, but Gabe always made it exciting. So I say all that to say this. The fans want good fights. Even if a fighter lose, but man, we know, goddamn it, that was a good fight. I think it's more so about the fight. Carla, hold on. I think it's more so about the fight than whether the fighter loses or not. That if you lose your you gotta go shit. That's some shit people tried to follow with Floyd Mayweather. Money Mayweather used that as a marketing tool for himself. And you got people, and you got the fans. They took that and ran with it and tried to apply that to every fighter. So you try to play that to every fighter. No, that was something specific to Floyd Mayweather. But the fans was too slow. The new booties who came in the game, they were too slow to catch on to differentiate. No, that was just for Floyd. That doesn't mean if this fighter got 1 or 2 losses, he trash. And see, that's where the fans come in at. They were slow on that. And the other fighters try to do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So that's what that was. It ain't about, it's how you perform in there. Let's say you fight, you lose a close decision, but you fought like a motherfucker. People ain't gonna turn their back on you because you lost. Like, man, that nigga fought though, boy. That was a hell of a fight. You get what I'm saying? It's about the fight, the performance. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Coach? Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what up, Coach? What up, Dog Pound? It's Freddie from East Oakland.
Freddie from Oakland, talk to me.
With you, man. Yeah, hey, you know who I think will take the baton after Terence Crawford and Canelo? I like how even though from East Oakland, I like how Brian Noble Jr. get down, man. You know, and that's what I'm going for when you fight Devin. I'm going for Brian Noble Jr. because Devin really don't claim Oakland like that. I know it's possible Oakland, but Devin he fight out in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? He don't really claim Oakland like that. But I don't care like where he's from, but I just like how Brian Noble get down. You know, I just like his style. You feel me? So that's what I'm rooting for, man. You know, Dog Pound.
All right, man.
Take care, Coach.
I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Freddie, man. Deep East Oakland, man. Salute, brother. You know. I ain't really. We spoke about that before. Like, when you think of Boots, you think of Philly. He represents Philadelphia, and Philadelphia has a rich history of fighters that come out of Philly. You get what I'm saying? You know, a lot of great fighters come out of Philly, right? And he represents it. Terence Crawford represents Omaha, Nebraska. He wear it on his sleeve. Floyd Mayweather represent Vegas. He don't represent where he from. Where Florida's from, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah, he don't represent Grand Rapids. He represents Vegas, right? But Floyd was for it's a retired fighter. Carla, hold on. Floyd retired. Abdullah Mason representing Cleveland, but he's not. We're gonna see if he can beat Sam Noakes. You know where he gonna go at. They're moving him along very carefully as well. Yeah, Devin don't represent Oakland. You know what? I just thought of like, yeah, do he really represent Oakland like that? I know Bill rep Oakland. We know Bill from the town, you dig, and all the fly stuff he be saying, and you know, oh yada yada yada, but popping his collar. But Devin don't really claim Oakland like that. So you get what I'm saying? Anyway, Carter, what's your name? You called from?
Hey, what it do, Coach, man? It's Wookie Wook, man. Calling from Maine right now.
Hey, Wookie Wook, talk to me, brother.
Hey, man. Shit, man. Long time no talk, bro. Shit, I guess pop is who up next? Who got next, man? Hey, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you. You know, every time I call you, that's what I do. Hey, man. Listen, I would have a couple months ago. I probably would have said old Boots, man. But, you know, last time I called you, I told you that nigga got one more time before I jump ship. And he had that one more time just came. Nigga, I jumped ship on Boots. So he ain't up next to my eyes. See, I just jumped ship to old Brian Norman, man. I'm trying to tell you. See, Brian, I think it's between Brian Norman and Abdullah Mason. And if you give me a minute, I'm going to break down why I'm leaning more towards Brian Norman, right? I'm leaning more towards Brian Norman because the man's from ATL, man. Let that man start power grow a little bit more. All them rappers and shit, man, they gonna be coming out with Quavo and goddamn. You feel me? Nigga, that build up and that rework, that shit build stars. I don't know what y'all talking about. Am I lying? When a nigga come out with Quavo, nigga, he stop.
Coming out with Quavo.
He stop, man. That's what makes you stop.
Hey, man.
I ain't lying, man. You feel me? So, and then another thing, his daddy, nigga, y'all ain't breaking that down. Nigga, I'm talking about Brian Norman Sr. I ain't like the nigga at first.
Yeah.
But the way that nigga be, that nigga will go inside the nigga head,
He
bro.
talk
That
shit,
nigga be
boy.
going inside the nigga.
He talk shit, boy. He some shit talking mofo,
Boy,
boy.
I'm trying to tell you. That will make it stop right there. You just need one hype man in the background and a rapper on the side. That's all you need. Abdullah Mason.
Yeah, Abdullah smooth.
Mason, he ain't got the voice. He ain't got the mouthpiece. You feel me? But he got the talent, but he ain't got the mouthpiece, and he ain't got the rapper. I don't know who's gonna be walking. I don't know who he gonna come out with. Take the other shit. Like, I don't know. Who's gonna come out with, Coach? That's my call, man.
All right, salute. Hey, so Wookie Wook say. Hold on. Wookie Wook said we got to come out with a hot rapper. Hold on. I'll call her. What's your name? You call her from? Hold on. Sorry about that, fam. I got you. Hold on. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from again, brother?
This is Hype Coach calling from Louisiana.
Calling from Louisiana. Talk to me, fam.
Coach, to be real with you, man, I like Boots, man. He got skill, but he ain't stepping in the mud, bro. You got to step in the mud, bro. You got to step in the mud. You got to start stepping on these dudes, man. He ain't stepping. You feel me? He ain't stepping on nobody. You got to kind of start stepping. I know he gonna move up. He could be the face though, but
yeah,
I see some holes in the game. But he got to step on these boys that want to step on him, because a lot of them won't step on him now. So he got to step on him. And I also like Abdullah, like you like. I like Abdullah Mason too. I think he got a mindset. I think his mindset ready to kind of take over. I like the controversy when he got dropped. When he got dropped in the fight, and he came back in that versus, and he won, and he actually posed, and he came out and he dominated after that. I like that kind of grit from a fighter. I like to see that kind of versus getting hurt, getting shook up a little bit, and like Crawford did back in the day with Gamboa when he got hit, kind of shook it off and said, okay, bet. And he woke up and said, okay, let me put that dog paws on you and then give it to you. So I like fighters like that, man. I like that grit, man. That all that talking, I hear Boots saying who he wants, but I got to see something, man.
Yeah.
I'm an action person. All that talking, all that shooting in the neighborhood, man. If you ain't really doing it, you can't be saying it that loud. Yeah. So that's what I'm with, though. That's all. That's my call, Coach. But that's why Mexico got a shot too. But that's my call.
All right, salute, fam.
Appreciate you, man. I watch your show every day, man.
Hey, what your name is, brother?
Hype.
Jimmy, salute to you, fam. Hey, thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Hype, Louisiana, stand up. Hey, so say like it's the show me state. People like, okay, look, man, like I say, that's why I always play these bullshit Superman stories club. I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Boots did his thing against the guy on Carla. Hold on. But this is the problem. Boots got a nice, TKO stoppage of Lima Bean. I called him Lima Bean for a reason. Why? This man turned pro 6 years ago at the tender age of 26. He has zero amateur background. And when Boots beat him, he was 32 years old. 6 years ago, fam. He was literally supposed to be Jaleel Hackett's tune-up. Eddie Hearn took that from him and fed him the Boots because he had the IBO title. So I can run around and he did what he was supposed to do. That ain't the point. The point is he wasn't even supposed to be in the ring with that dude. He wasn't even supposed to be in the ring with that dude who just started boxing, who turned pro 6 years ago. Not started boxing, who turned pro in 2019, zero background amateur record, and got a loss already. And I had 16, we had 15 fights. Nah. Carla, what's your name? You called from?
What's up, Coach? It's Mitchell from Chicago.
Mitchell, talk to me.
I got a question for you, Coach. Do you think Boots out there pump faking or he's telling the truth? Because I don't understand. When you were talking to Turkey said, "Yeah, I got a list of hitters for you." You told him you need tune-up, but in the post-fight interview, you agree in everything Eddie's saying. So why lie to Turkey but tell Eddie the truth?
Yeah, again, no, you know what? He had. I'm telling you, like Boots has everything. He have everything to really take it. To kind of like take over American boxing. He has the size. I don't know how marketable he is yet. Because he really don't talk much. But he looks. Put it this way. The way that Eddie Hearn and before Eddie Hearn, Stephen Espinosa was building him. They was attaching his name to Crawford. So I need to see more than you're attaching your name to him, because that guy is 5 division champ, 3-time undisputed champion. So so that's what put him on the radar, attaching his name to him because he can switch it. Outside of that, that's it. They don't talk about defense, ring IQ, jab, footwork. They don't talk about the grit. They don't talk about any of that. They just talk about, man, it's like a shiny car. It looks like a Porsche, it's shining like a Porsche, but is it really a Porsche? You got to get in there and test drive it and see. So I see from the way he's being marketed by his team, I want to hope that, he'd have won, but he's going to have to fight those fights in his division. He got to do that. Yeah. There's no way around that, Mitchell. If he can do that, then that'll clear a lot of doubt,
Check this out, Coach. So his next go around, if Turkey come out and say again, Boots said he needs some more tune-ups, and he end up finding another Lima Bean, you still sold on him? Or what you gonna do?
I'm not gonna be sold on him after that. If his next fight ain't Bagram, who says he is available right now, or after we really don't know what's going to happen with Virgil and Lubin. You know, if Virgil can get by that, Virgil is going to have to be those top guys, bro. It got to be those top guys. I don't even want to see him fight that dude, the boss. The dude, the boss who beat Talise, he got the WBA title. I don't, you know, because a boss ain't no name. He from Germany, just like doggone Lima Bean. So I don't even really care nothing about that. Like, I'm talking about the guys who there's an overall consensus that these are the guys we want to see him fight. If he fight a boss, which I think that's who he's going to fight next anyways, because Boots is the WBA interim champion, more than likely that's who we fight next. And then Eddie going to get up there and spin it. Well, yeah, you know, we wanted to get him a belt, and now we got him a belt, and now we're going to go after all of those other guys. So I know how Eddie going to spin this. But, yeah, he gotta fight those other dudes, fam. But, Mitchell, Chi-Town, man. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Chi-Town. Yeah. Yeah, he got to go get the belts. I'm going to tell you why he got to go get the belts. Because when Carl, hold on. The fighter who they keep comparing Boots to, every time he moved up to a division, he went directly at the champion. He always fought a champion in every division he went to win in. Now, of course, he started at 135, and he had to build up to fight Ricky Burns. But when he moved up to 140, who did he fight? When he moved up to 147, who did he fight? When he moved up to 154, who did he fight? Well, he fought Marjamal. Yeah, but he tried to fight Fundora. You criticize him for fighting Marjamal, but you don't say nothing about when Fundora said that he ain't fighting him. No, they said my nose broke. My nose still broke. I'm still healing from that. You remove the aspect of it where Scampson say, well, you know, when Errol Spence jumped in the ring, it said, I'm fighting him next. You remember that? After the Tim Tszyu fight, Errol Spence jumped in the ring. And what happened after that? Oh, man, well, what Scampson say? Why should we fight Crawford for, you know, who he ain't no draw, he don't sell. So you want to fight a nigga who ain't no draw, who don't sell now. Okay, so he ain't no draw, he don't sell. So why you worried about him? He ain't no draw, which is a lie, but he don't sell, this and that. Okay, cool. So why you worried about him? Why try to fight the dude who ain't no draw, don't sell? But he tried to fight Fundora. I guess Fundora is a draw and he can sell. Good luck with that one. What did Scampson say? Why would we fight him when we can fight Errol Spence in Dallas Stadium in front of 90,000 fans? I got the video. He said it on Fight Hype. Carla, what's your name? You called it from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin, 2 times. Talk to me.
Yeah, Coach, I got a question. So I agree with everything Ron Boy said about Boots, but here's what I don't understand. Okay, where it's almost a for sure thing. He's gonna fight a Bass for that vacant WBA belt that Crawford put down and a Bass picked up, right? So does that slow down Boots' momentum when everybody's calling for, hey, fight Virgil, or hey, why you ducking Bakram? You were the IBF champ. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna fight another random ass dude from Germany. Yeah, he got a belt, but that belt don't mean shit because he didn't beat nobody. Now, if you said, well, he beat Crawford for that belt, oh man, respect all day. But you just picked it up fighting some random ass fool that nobody's ever heard of. What's that worth? What does that get you? You know what I'm saying? Even them little bullshit, paper belts that Virgil got, to me mean more than this German dude. I'd rather see him fight a legit contender, legit challenger, than some random ass fool just because through boxing politics he picked up a belt. I think that'll slow down Boots a lot to where people gonna be like, damn motherfucker, you ducking him again. Yeah, he got a belt, but nobody's gonna care. At least I don't think, Coach. I could be wrong, but tell me what you think, Coach.
No, well, it depends. It depends if he fight a boss and there's a fast enough turnaround. Like, there's no reason why these fights they're like, okay, let's say Boots fought. He fought Lima Bean, and then we don't see him again till 6 months from now. It's like these guys, these young fighters. There's no reason why a young fighter should be fighting once or twice a year. If you're a young fighter in your 20s, you're supposed to be fighting about 3-4 times a year, dog. if you're a young fighter in your 20s. There's no reason why a young fighter in his 20s should not be fighting regularly. Now, if you're an old fighter, I can understand that. I give an older fighter a pass. But a young fighter who you ain't took no punishment in the ring, you pretty much running through everybody like wet toilet paper. And guess what? I like right now, like Boots almost got 40 fights, and we don't know who he fought, but he almost got 40 fights. So he should be able to easily he's going to have to fight about 3 times next year. If he gonna fight a boss, fine. 3 months after that or 4 months after that, fight the other guy. But Bakram is available now, right now.
Yeah.
He ain't got nobody to fight. So Boots can fight that dude right now. And then Boots we don't need to see the fight 6 months from now because he didn't take no punishment. He only got hit one time, and that was on the shoulder. So he ain't took no punishment. And Bakram ain't fought in a year, so that'd be perfect. So yeah, that's no reason why he can't get that fight next year. All right, but shout out to Martin, Oaktown. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, see, that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. The man posted on Twitter. He said, man, I'm ready. He said, I'm ready, man. I'm ready right now. What's happening? They saying this dude, Bakram the boogeyman. Hold on. Carla, hold on. They saying Bakram the boogeyman, don't nobody want to fight him. Okay, well, Boots and his team and Eddie Hearn is saying Boots the boogeyman, don't nobody want to fight him. Okay, cool. So since Boots is the boogeyman, don't nobody want to fight him. Bakram the boogeyman, don't nobody want to fight him. Okay, cool. Why don't the two guys come together and fight each other? True. Bakram saying on Twitter, nah, man, I'm ready right now. What's happening? Immediately as what Eddie Hearn said, yeah, man, yeah, you know, we want to fight the other champions, Bakram and all that. He posted on Twitter, hey, man, I'm ready. I ain't doing nothing, dog. I ain't nobody scared of you. You ain't gonna listen. I ain't gonna take the 2 Philly cheesesteaks. You paid Lima Bean 2 Philly cheesesteaks. The man got paid 2 Philly cheesesteaks to fight you. Yeah, I ain't worried about none of that, dog. I ain't gonna be scared. I ain't gonna be shaking. Like, no, I'm with it. What's happening? A lot of these niggas be scared before they even step in the ring. So if you a boogeyman, he a boogeyman, why don't the 2 boogeymen come together? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's Naj from Philly, man.
Naj, talk to me, brother.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you really think it's the fighters or more so the promoters that are kind of holding up these fights that we really want to see?
The fighters.
All right, so if they under contract, like just use Bud for an example. He was rocking with Top Rank for a minute, kind of held them up a little bit, right? So the first thing is, you don't really want to sign with promoters that really ain't going to push you. And it wasn't always the turkey before. So these guys are kind of stuck in a rut or kind of in force of habit signing with these promoters, and they end up getting jammed up. You know what I mean? And then the other part of it is, back in the day, we had Friday night fights. You know what I mean? You had the show box. You had the boxing after dark. A lot of these fighters, Chocolatita was one of the guys I never knew anything about until he was on, Boxing After Dark, and they kept promoting him and pushing him, right? I don't think a lot of promoters in the business are really pushing these fighters, and if you don't step away from them, I don't think we're going to really see the fights. We're going to keep talking in circles about these guys not really rumbling and stepping up to the plate because of those promoters. You know what I mean? So, and they have the contract too.
Yeah, what does that have to do with today, though? Like, what's going on today in time? What does that have to do with today? I'm kind of lost right now.
Because I see the same thing with Eddie and all the rest of it. I mean, now if the guys want to break the contract with promoters and then go holler at Turkey, I can see a lot of these fights getting done a whole lot faster than that. But because of what I was saying, they're not really promoting them and pushing them and spotlighting them like they should, I really don't see a reason. I agree with you in regards to them just stepping away from these promoters and just dealing with Turkey straight up and down. I think that's what's going to have to end up happening, because other than that, I don't see Eddie or any of these other promotional companies really getting to the fights that we really want to see. I don't really think it's going to be a face because of that until that actually happens. They got to rock with Turkey.
Yeah, but I'm kind of lost at what you're saying is because Eddie clearly said, look, we want to fight all these other top guys. He said he's going to go out his way to make these fights. So as it relates to Boots, he don't have that. He don't have the issue of his promoter not wanting to make the fights. According to what his promoter said live on TV after the the Lima fight, he said, we want to go after these guys. So since he openly said that, then we're going to take his word for it. So we don't have to worry about the obstacle of the promoter holding them back. That's not the excuse there anymore. So now that's been removed. So he should be able to get any of those fights based on what the fighter said and based on what the promoter said. And there's a guy that's saying, look, man, I'm available. There's no obstacle for him. He's directly working directly with Turk Al-Sheikh. So I don't think in this situation, what happened with Bud, with Top Rank and other fighters, I don't think that apply in this situation, to be fair.
And the last thing I'll say about it, I don't trust Eddie. I'm from the city. I've seen him moving around and whatever the case may be. I haven't seen him push any U.S. fighter to any type of prominence. He had the Anthony Johnson, Joshua, a lot of other fighters over the UK. I just can't see him really making that happen. I don't take him at his word, right? Because he could have I don't want to say let Boots get in there, because Boots, that's his decision at the end of the day. But he could have made it to where as though he got in there with a Bakram, a Virgil Ortiz. Virgil not going to be ready by the time this next year comes. They keep pushing Virgil, but at the end of the day, Bakram will probably be the best bet, like you said, because he's going to be coming off a fight with losing, right? So again, it's just going to be where Eddie gets to spinning and talking a whole lot of shit, but not making nothing happen, right? So if Boots steps away from him and actually deals with Turkey, like I said, that's the only way him or any of these other fighters are really going to make it happen, because these promoters is trying to really hold on to these fighters because they're making them money and they don't want to fuck it up if they lose. Now, that's my call, Coach.
All right, salute, fam. Now, this is something that Naj, this is something that Naj is missing in this whole equation. I get what he's saying. He don't believe Eddie holding the Boots back. Guess what? Boots was a free agent. After Boots beat Karen Chugga for the second time, Boots was a free agent. So, and Boots chose to okay, let me go down this rabbit hole. Carla, hold on. Let me go down this rabbit hole. Let's say I take what Nod's saying is true. We're gonna run with what Nod's saying is true, right? We don't believe Eddie's really holding him back. What he's saying in public really ain't true. He's gonna keep Boots from getting the fights that he wants. Okay, well, when Boots was a free agent, why did he re-sign with Eddie in 2000? He just re-signed with him right before the Lima Bean fight. Why did he re-sign with him? You're saying that, okay, the Turkey's gonna be the one to do it. He could have dealt directly with Turkey. Cut the middleman out. When Turkey Al-Sheikh make deals with fighters who signed to these promotional companies, his team deal directly with the fighter. Even though that fighter is signed to a promotional company, he dealing directly with Abdullah Mason. He dealing directly with Brian Norman. He dealing directly with any fighter that's under the promotional company. He deal directly with them. So if the fear is, man, Eddie lying, let's say we run with that. Well, guess what? Your fighter chose to sign with a guy who's lying and gonna keep him from the fights that he said he wanted when he could have dealt directly with the plug. Like, how do you explain that? Caller, what's your name? You called from?
Man, what's happening, Coach? Man, it's Casino like Fred, man. 2 times, man. I'm gonna be real quick. But I heard what people were saying, like, especially like the last caller, he's saying that it's the promoter holding him back. Bro, Eddie Hearn don't hold nobody motherfucking back, bro. And the thing about, he's talking about he want to make money. He gonna make more money if Boots fuck with Turkey because he still be signed to him. I mean, we can't forget. Turkey tried to get Boots. Like, Turkey exposed the shit. You like, man, we ain't doing no tune-ups, man. Holler at me when you ready. Everybody forget about that shit. But the main thing I wanted to call and say is, when somebody brought up fighters trying to protect their oath. Man, it's a whole new day and age in boxing.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the only reason that your O matters. The only reason that your O matters, the only way you can't lose is if you piss everybody the fuck off. If you piss everybody off, it's over for you when you lose. If people fuck with you, it don't matter. So, Boots, the thing with Boots is, because you hit the nail on the head, I think he's going to fight a bye. If he fight a bye, bro, that's going to be bad. That's going to be a bad look because people, they can't say that belt shit because Sandy Onis had a belt and nobody give a fuck about that shit either. It's about the names, bro, and everybody know that you got the opportunity to be getting these big bags and getting these big fights, and you turn the shit down. So By them going in that ring and calling out everybody except Abaz, they didn't even say Abaz's name. And I feel how you feel. I think he gonna fight Abaz. Once he do that shit, he can't lose no more because everybody gonna be fed up. So as soon as he lose, it's over with. But if he would have just went into the fire, if he would have lost, if he went straight into the fire, it wouldn't have mattered because everybody would have respected you for fighting the fight. See, they be fucking their own career up. They piss off the public. They be capping and goddamn, you know what I'm saying, just capping and lying, saying anything out of their mouth and then don't deliver. So niggas want you to lose. So when you lose, it's over because you done pissed us off. But that's my call.
All right, salute, fam. Hey, okay. Shout out to the casino. Yeah, so hold on. I'm thinking about hold on, I'm trying to type something. That's why you get what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking at it like, man, like, again, I know what Naj is saying, but I kind of, you know, I'm gonna take Eddie at his word for it. I do know that these promoters lie. That's what these promoters do. Their job is to lie. I do get that. You know, but yeah, I mean, at this point, see, and this is what I tell you. This is why I tell y'all. You can't put this pressure on these fighters. When you put that pressure on these fighters, these young fighters, that pressure comes with expectations. I'm expecting you to do what the guy who they are comparing you to do. And so when you're comparing the guy, and they said, okay, well, when this guy, when he moved to the division, he immediately fought a champion, or he immediately did this and did that. When you moved to the division, you did this. The total opposite of him. But we're comparing you to him. That's why you can't be comparing these dudes. Because, you know, that was my problem I had with the quote unquote, what the media came out with the Four Kings stuff. The new Four Kings. I don't know who came up with that. I think somebody in the mainstream media, somebody from ESPN, or I don't know who it was. The new Four Kings. The new Four Kings was supposed to be who? Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia. Look how that turned out. Look how that turned out. Do you get what I'm saying? So, we can't do that, bro. I mean, well, you can do it. I'm not gonna do it. Because I understand this. It's what those guys did in the ring, when they did it, and who they did it to, is what made them the Four Kings. It was who they fought, when they fought them. And they had L's. All of them had L's. So the fans, well, the old boxing fans, I don't know about now, this new social media era. This new social media era boxing, I can't speak for this era. But the new social media boxing era, you know, is different from normal boxing. I give a perfect example. In the UK, you know why they love Derek Chisora? Derek Chisora got 75 losses. But he sell out in the arena. Every time he fight, he got 20,000, 30,000 people coming out to see him. He has double-digit losses. Do you want to know why? Because they love Derek Chisora, because Derek Chisora going to give you his all. It's just like Arturo Gatti. I wasn't no Arturo Gatti fan myself. Arturo Gatti was a punching bag. Let's just be honest. Arturo Gatti was a punching bag. Hold on. Arturo Gatti was a punching bag, but he kept getting contracts with HBO. They love Arturo Gatti in Jersey, in Atlantic City. They love him. Arturo Gatti was the embodiment of a Rocky Balboa. The man was the embodiment of a Rocky Balboa. He gonna stay getting his ass whipped. Both eyes gonna be closed. His nose gonna be bleeding, mouth gonna be bleeding, but he was a warrior. They loved him. They loved him. I think what a modern day, what an influencer boxing fan missed the boat at is this. They'll see a fighter have a tough fight. If you're supposed to be an elite fighter and the other guy's supposed to be an elite fighter, you would assume that it's gonna be a tough fight, right? It's gonna be tough. You would assume it's gonna be tough for both guys, right? Like when Crawford got rocked by Gamboa. Crawford had to drop Gamboa twice in the 9th round. He dropped him 2 times before that. He dropped his hands, playing with him, toying around with him, got caught on the chin, was on the Bambi legs. As he was backing up on the Bambi legs, Gamboa went for the kill. Crawford switched southpaw, and what happened right after that? He knocked him out. True. So they'll say, "Oh man, he dropped him 3 times before that." In the lead up to I think that was the 8th or 9th round, something like that, somewhere up in there. Man, he got rocked. I'm like, bro, that's boxing. Carla, hold on. Ray Leonard got rocked. Ray Leonard got dropped. In life, you gonna get rocked. In life, you gonna get dropped. In life, you gonna take some L's. That don't mean you ain't no great fighter. That means that you had a human experience. You went through what everybody else go through in life. I don't get that, bro. Me personally, I don't get it. That's any fighter. Abdullah Mason got dropped twice. But what happened? He got up and finished the dude who dropped him. Finished him. The end result business. You're going to get knocked down in boxing. You're going to go through some adversity. Life is about going through adversity. How you overcome that adversity is what tells who you are. Hold on, let me read Ron Boy Fresh. Shout out to Ron Boy Fresh. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, wait a minute. He said, don't get it twisted. I still say Virgil beats Boot Slim. Okay. Shout out to New Country. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, Coach, Promotional call was the same way. Him and Bradley had an epic fight. He said he was called the Siberian Rocky. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Carter, what's your name? Where you called it from?
Hey, what up, Coach? It's Coach Eddie 2 times.
Coach Eddie 2 times. Talk to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Boots gonna fight a boss next because he don't want to deal with that rehydration clause with the IBF. If he goes straight to the IBF, he gonna have to deal with a rehydration clause. If you get the WBA, he ain't got to deal with no IBF, deal with no rehydration clause because it's a unification match. Not only that, a boss, I look at him like Ndongo. He's a weak champion. You know what I mean? Ndongo, I mean, yeah, he beat somebody. And he beat Ricky Byrne, and Ricky Byrne was somebody that Terence Crawford had already beat for the title. So Terence Crawford just ran through Ndongo. So as a champion, in order for Boots to become unification, sometimes the guy that you fight, you might be fighting a weak champion, just like Charles Martin was a weak champion. But Eddie Hearn said, okay, we got a weak champ over here, let's go snatch his belt up. So that's gonna be the move. They're gonna fight a boss, and then they're gonna probably try to fight by farm after that. That way they ain't got to deal with no rehydration clause. Because Boots looked big as crap when he fought Alignment B. He looked like he was light heavyweight.
No, Coach Eddie, I can't go for that. I'm gonna tell you why I can't go for that. What belt Boots had at when he was welterweight?
He had the IBF.
He had the IBF. So him moving up, now he's at 154. The rehydration clause is the biggest cop out ever in the history of boxing, especially in today's time. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the rehydration clause for the IBF only means that, okay, he came in at 154. You can't weigh no more than 10 pounds more than what you weighed the day before, the morning of the fight. once they weigh you again the morning of the fight, you can rehydrate to whatever weight you want to go to after that, the same day. So that ain't no excuse, fam. For he can't, I'm not saying that's what he's saying, but he can't use that as excuse as, yeah, I don't want to deal with the rehydration clause. Bro, that's a goddamn lie. It's because guess what? It ain't like you only gotta rehydrate to no more than 10 pounds to the morning of the fight. And if this guy is who you say he is, when he already had an IBF belt in the welterweight division, then that should not be a problem for him. Bakram, the one who Eddie Hearn say boots are destroyed, he dealing with it. He ain't got no problem with it. And this dude ain't nowhere near get the hype that Boots get. So no, I can't go for that. I can't go for that, fam. Can't go for that.
I mean, I'm just saying, but as Eddie Hearn, he gonna fight the weakest champ, because that's how Eddie Hearn moves. We already know Eddie Hearn got a bad track record with fighters, man. You know, that dude kind of shell shock of this fighter be losing all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably in the back of his mind, but like, wait a minute, man, my guy look good, but he might mess around and lose. So he's gonna try to keep him undefeated as long as possible. And I just think Alvarez is an easier fight than the Bakram fight. So now they're gonna take the easy route.
So now you're telling me the greatest fighter on the planet is going to take the easy route? Do you know how that sounds?
Like Errol Spence. Errol Spence said the same thing when he talking to Crawford. He said, "Why I'm gonna fight you?" He said, "I'm gonna take the easy route." You remember when Spence told him that?
Yeah, I remember that because he had all the fighters. He had all the fighters on this side of the street, so that was his justification for. Yeah. But I'm saying with Jerron Boots Ennis in today's time, you're saying that no, I agree. He's going to fight a boss next. So I agree. That's what's going to happen. That's the play. We already know that. That's what's going to happen, right? But what I'm saying is, the optics. The optics don't look good because you're telling me this nigga Megatron, but Goku right here. Optimus Prime right there. Right now. You can get him right now.
Right.
So yeah, you know.
I agree with you, Cole, but it's still a puzzle piece. You got to collect it. Either way, if you want to be unified, if you want to be undisputed, you still got to fight that weak champion.
Check this out.
At some point in time.
All right. It is what it is. Okay, so I shout out to Coach Tatum, man. Salute, fam. Yeah, I can't go. Yeah, that shit. That shit right there. That shit right there. That shit. Yeah, that see that. No, I can't go for that. I can't go for that, dog. No, not. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't be. See, this what you can't do. I read New Country. This what you can't do. You can't be telling me that a fighter is catching bullets with his teeth, but then giving me excuses for why he don't have to catch bullets with his teeth.
I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories about the Wassa legendary Bruce Leroy catching bullets with his teeth. Catches bullets with his teeth? Nigga, please.
That's all I'm saying, fam. That's all I'm saying, fam. He gotta listen, bro. James Toney, I think he beat Michael Nunn in Michael Nunn's backyard for $60-something thousand at that time. It's the equivalent in today's times because of inflation. I think that might be like $100 and something, maybe $200,000 right now. I'm not sure. I gotta look up the inflation calculator. And I think he won the IBF belt. Matter of fact, let me look that up. I think he won the IBF belt. Let me see. Let's go to Box Rec. James Toney. Let me make sure. I want to make sure I'm accurate. Lights out. James Toney got 80-something fights. James Toney got 90 fights. 90 goddamn fights. Michael Nunn. Michael second to none. Where Michael second to none at? Mike McCallum. That was 1991. Michael Nunn. That was for the IBF belt. IBF belt. He beat Michael Nunn, stopped him. He stopped him in the 11th round. James Toney didn't say, man, I don't want to fight Michael Nunn for the IBF belt because I don't like that rehydration clause they got. I'm just saying. James Toney didn't say, yeah, dog, I would fight that nigga Michael Nunn in his backyard for $60,000. This is my first opportunity I get to get a shot at the title, and ain't no telling when I'm gonna get another one. So let me go ahead and I don't like that rehydration clause. Do you know how that sound, bro? You make your fighter look weak. If this nigga Megatron and he busting that Autobot. Listen, this the nigga who you say he Megatron, but Optimus Prime scared of him. All of the Autobots is scared. Voltron scared. Piccolo scared. Vegeta scared. Lord Beerus scared. Wiz scared. Godzilla scared. King Kong scared. Voltron scared. Ultraman scared. Wonder Dog scared. Yogi Bear and Boo Boo is scared. You're telling me that I don't want to fight another champion who they say is the boogeyman. As I said before, one boogeyman plus one boogeyman is two boogeymen. I'm having trouble finding fights. Okay, that dude right there say he ready right now. Oh yeah, I would fight him, dog, but that rehydration clause of the belt. True. The Martin say Starscream. Yeah, that rehydration clause, dog. Do you know how that sound, fam? Let's give everybody a round of applause. Bro, come on, bro. Just think about how that sound. And everybody talk about Eddie Hearn. Well, Eddie may do this, Eddie may do that. This ain't got nothing to do with Eddie. It's Gerard Boots Ennis. He's the boss. He got the man damn near got 40 fights. He the one, Eddie, look here, man, make that happen, do whatever it takes. Like, he the boss. It's because it appears that he hiding behind Eddie Hearn, fam. You absolving him of any responsibility, and you scapegoating Eddie Hearn. We're talking about right now in 2025. And how I know what I'm talking about. If your argument is, man, the reason why he can't get those fights because Eddie Hearn is holding him back. Guess what? He was a free agent and he re-signed with him. True. He was a free agent and he re-signed with him. So did he re-sign with Eddie with the purposes of hiding behind him? Because he know Eddie would be the scapegoat and his fan base would give him an excuse. Yeah, dog, it ain't me, dog, it's Eddie. If it was up to me, I'd be fighting him. Look, the nigga Buckram, the other boogeyman, nigga said on Twitter, he ready right now. What's happening? Yeah, dog, it's that rehydration clause, dog. But you just had you had the IBF belt. You had the IBF belt. I'm at 147. You fought a couple times at a smaller weight. So surely, at a larger weight, you will be able to fight that. And the rehydration clause, caller, hold on. Caller, you the last call. This is the rehydration clause. If you got to come in at 154, Boots can't weigh that's any fighter. Buckram can't weigh no more than 164 pounds the next day, the morning of the fight. The morning of. After you weigh in that, guess what? You can gain 75 pounds after they weigh you in. I weigh 164 right now. Good, you good to go, baby boy. Eat as much as you want. He can gain 75 more pounds after that if he want to. He don't have to weigh 164 and maintain his weight all the way up to when he step in the ring. So when people say that, they don't educate the people on how it works with the IBF. Nah, that's bullshit. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
My name's Ian. I'm calling from Philly.
Ian from Philly, talk to me. You the last call.
It's crazy because Philly supports Philly, and I'm not even a Boots fan like that because, like you said, he's 40-0. He hasn't really proved himself, and this is my whole thing, even with the Virgil Ortiz whole fight, right? Crawford said on $1 Million Worth of Game that Boots, he had multiple opportunities to fight him, and he ducked them. And now Virgil Sr. is saying the same thing. So it seems like there's a common narrative with him not wanting to take these fights.
I mean, all I'm saying, listen, all I'm saying, Ian, is this, brother. I just look, man, I'm trying to remove all the excuses and the obstacles. That's all I'm trying. I want to remove all the obstacles. And I'm saying there is no obstacle, especially in this day and time with Turki Al-Sheikh. It doesn't matter which promoter you're signed to. Any fight can be made at any given time. When we see that. So
yeah, and the bag's there. Like you said, Turkey's there with the bag.
Yes, sir. Hey, but look, man, shout out to you, fam. Go ahead, brother. I'll let you wrap up.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem.
All right, so shout out to Ian, man. Philly, stand up. Salute, brother. Hey, you see what David Benavidez did? What David Benavidez did? Man, look here, man. Man, Al Heyman and them telling me, look here, man, what we gonna do now? We gonna keep your scamps and lies. Yeah, David is a Vegas fighter. He's not going over there to Saudi Arabia. Why should he go over there to Saudi Arabia to fight? He's a Vegas fighter. He doesn't need that. Next thing you know what David Benavidez at? They interviewed David Benavidez. Yeah, man, why you change your mind? He said, yeah, look here, man, I gotta do what I gotta do for me. I gotta do what I gotta do for me. Turkey got a lot of money here, offering a lot of money, and I got to fight these guys and try to become undisputed at light heavyweight. I'm not coming back down to 168 to fight Crawford nor Canelo. I know the money's here. So David is going against what Scamps and Liars want for him, because now Scamps are like this here. Damn, if he dealing directly with Turki Al-Sheikh, guess what? I'm cut out now. When you sign to a promoter, he get a percentage of the cut. He get a percentage of the money. By me dealing directly with the Sheik, guess what? Now, whatever arrangement he got with Al, I think he said he got a couple more fights or whatever. Al gonna get his cut, Scamps gonna get their cut. But he like, look, man, you gonna get, I gotta do what I gotta do, dog. Back end promotions ain't working. There's no excuse for any fighter in the modern day era of boxing that's a top fighter. You will not be able to use my promoter is stopping me from getting fights excuse. We don't want to hear that. Not in today's time. Because Turki Al-Sheikh deal directly with the fighter anyways. And he made all the other promotional companies bow down. True. I ain't trying to hear that. No. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Dropping that quarter of a dub. She said that should not be blasphemous. And shout out to Coach Ron. Dropping that $2 super chat. He said we need the 10 Commandments read, Coach. Yeah, bro, listen. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. I take a common sense approach to it.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Dr. Tony, I think that was you say who I think who that was, he offered Boots. I think that was the fight. Teofimo. She got offered a fight to fight Teo at 147, I think. Teofimo or something of that sort. I don't know. I don't remember. I want to say it was Teo though. But my point is that's not no excuse, dog. I know y'all want to use Eddie Hearn as an excuse. I know Eddie Hearn is the white devil and all. I get all of that. But no, this ain't the white man. This ain't the white man. We can't go through the white man today. In today's time, no, these fights can get made. Eddie Hearn ain't stopping nothing. These fights will get made. Turki Al-Sheikh is on the scene. Anyways, hold on. What is this? Hold on. Hey, I'm trying to. I don't even have the number down right now. Hold on. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
Hey, Coach, NBA 13, man.
NBA 13, talk to me, brother.
Right, cool. Hey, Coach. If Boots take that Bass fight next, he bullshit. I don't want to hear no more. He could pick up the Bachman fight just like you say. He can come get that Bass shit later. They talking about pick up the pieces to the puzzle, pick the right pieces to the puzzle. Let's get that going. And one thing I ain't worried about, Coach. See, Turkey put it all on the table. He already told us. He told you that Boots is a fraud off top in so many words. So now it comes to fruition. Boots ain't do nothing to deter what Turkey said. He ain't say, all right, Turkey said this. He'll watch who I go pick next. He went and did exactly what Turkey said. And for that reason alone, I ain't worried about it. Turkey finna get all that bullshit up out of here. And I guess I gotta do like everybody else and think I'll eat. I can watch boxing now, baby. You hear me, Coach? Turkey ain't taking the bullshit fights. If Boots don't take that boxing fight or Virgil next, we already know what time it is. Oh, and to clarify earlier too, Coach, I want to talk about the Bud Boots fight. I was just saying them comparisons. Them really dead too, if you ask me. It ain't no comparison. Yeah, it ain't no comparison. They keep bringing up what Bud did way back then. We talk about now, man. What's up now? They got the spotlight right now. You know what I'm saying? So, Turkey getting all the frauds up out of boxing. And guess what, Coach? The fraud-ass fans going with them. And I love it. I love it, Coach. That's my call right there. Thanks for taking it. And a great show today, Coach.
Hey, man, shout out to MB 813, man. Tampa, stand up, man. 813 in this bitch. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Listen, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, fam. That's all I'm saying. I told y'all, if you want to claim the fame off a guy who they comparing you to, you got to take the criticism that come along with it. Because one guy been getting shit on for 17 years. So you got to take some of that now as well. That's one. Two, in today's time, while the going is getting good, you say you a boogeyman, don't nobody want to fight you. Well, there's another boogeyman that Turk out of said don't nobody want to fight him. So why don't the two boogeymans come together and fight each other? The problem I have is this here. You can't be a fan of a guy and then come up with excuses for him. Caller, hold on. You can't be a fan of a guy and then come up with excuses for him not to fight the other top guy. Because I haven't heard Boots or Eddie Hearn say, well, the reason why we don't want to fight Bachram because of the rehydration clause. They're not saying that. Guess where that's coming from? That's coming from you. When I say you, I'm saying those who are saying that. Yeah, man, well, the reason why he ain't gonna fight him right now because it's the rehydration clause. Did Boots say that? No. Did Eddie Hearn say that? No. Where that's coming from? Well, that's just what I'm saying. I'm like, that sounds like witness protection program talk. Y'all putting words in the man's mouth, making shit up. You the last call. Caller, what's your name? You called from?
Yeah, hey, Coach, what's up? This is Freddie again from Oakland. Hey, I just got one question for you, dog, pal. Hey, do you know who trained Devin for the fight on the 22nd of November?
No.
You know.
I don't know who he is. I know he trained a little bit with Zab and all that stuff that I don't know.
No, you know Freddie Roach. He's working with Freddie Roach right now, man. Yep. Oh, I don't think I should have said that. Damn. Nah. But yeah.
All right, but shout out to Freddie, man, from Oakland, man. All right, salute to you, fam. Thank you for calling, brother. Freddie Roach, salute, fam. Yeah, man, shout out to the hood.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Yeah, man. See, we gotta take a common sense approach to this, bro. Like we can't do that. I don't believe if these niggas is who y'all say they is, man. We can't be coming up with excuses for them. As fans, we can't do that. Well, see, what it is now, the only reason why we ain't gonna go that way now, but even though he's available right now, because we don't, it's the rehydration clause. Did he say that? No, he ain't say that. Did Eddie Hearn say that? No, he ain't say that. Did Bozy ain't say that? No, they ain't say that. So where's that coming from? That's just something I came up with out of my head. No, we ain't doing that, bro. We ain't doing that. You dig?
Hurting the group. I'm the best thing ever happened to this damn group. Nobody's bigger than the group. Y'all ain't stupid. I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Guess what? Same thing for Virgil Ortiz. Same thing for Virgil Ortiz. He fighting Erickson Lubin right now. Okay, cool. We're going to see how that work out. Same thing for Virgil Ortiz. Same thing for any fighter y'all hyping up, man. The same rule applies. As fans, it's not our job to make excuses for why. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some fights I know just ain't going to happen. I know Boots and Crawford ain't going to happen. I know that ain't going to happen. You get what I'm saying? That ship has sailed. And I know what they're doing with Boots from a marketing standpoint. We're going to attach him to Crawford because he's a switch hitter like Crawford. But they don't fight nothing alike. Outside of switch hitting, they don't fight nothing alike. Okay, cool. We'll do what Crawford did. Crawford, you know, became champion, beat Ricky Burns, went overseas. He went overseas to win his first title. He did that, went overseas, win his first title, moved up to 140, fought the champion, moved up to 147, fought the champion, moved up to 154, fought the champion. The guy he wanted to fight said he didn't want to fight him because he don't bring that to the table. The dude who literally don't bring nothing to the table is selling Crawford. He don't bring nothing to the table. Now, guess what? Now look at him. Talking about Fendora. Fendora, you don't even have a fan base, fam. Outside of your mama, your daddy, and your sister, what fans you got? None. Listening to Scampson. And then move up to 168, fight the baddest Mexican in the history of Mexican fighters. I gotta say that. I'm gonna put Canelo way up there because his fans put him way up there. So he graded, even though I ain't gonna put nobody over Salvador, but he graded in, according to his fans, he graded in Salvador. He graded in Julio Cesar Chavez. He graded in Marquez. He graded in Morales. He graded in Benito Lopez. He graded in any Mexican fighter in the history of boxing. Canelo Alvarez did. Guess what? The baddest man on the planet. He beats Boots up in sparring. Guess what? Crawford went up there and beat him. Moved up, small guy, little guy, old man. Shinny. Weak resume, ain't fought nobody. There's levels to this. He's not on Canelo's level. Guess what? He beat him like the rest of the niggas. So you gotta do shit. You got some work to do, fam. You got some work to do. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. You dig?
Get out my face. Don't need nothing you got no more. Don't need no hair's been messing up my corner. And you better get that bad look off your face before I knock it off.
Yes, sir.
Come fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby.
You dig? Y'all know what time it is. Hey, we make smart investments over here.
How in 36 months, of course, with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month. But
what investment is that?
Just in real estate.
I agree. Got you.
And I'm heavy in real estate. I'm real heavy in real estate. Even though, you know, I got my own liquid, and if you, that means cash for those. I break it down in layman's terms. Even though I got a lot of cash. OPM.
Okay.
OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make sure y'all keep y'all credit right.
Talk to us about
very important.
we make smart investments. Hey, look here, man. Dollar Bill, talk to him.
Who you think he is? DJ Quick?
No,
huh?
No, I ain't saying
Kid Capri?
I didn't say
that. Oh, you must be Jimmy Walker. Well, you ain't nothing. You don't deserve nothing. You don't get nothing. You get what I give you. I got a contract between me and you that say you do what I tell you to do. Therefore, shut the fuck. Don't say nothing. Don't speak to me. Don't look at me.
I just want money. You know, I just said.
Blue, if I raise up, gonna be trouble. Trouble. I'm walking off.
Hey, man, I'm gonna give everybody a shout out right after these messages. And another thing too, hold on, I'm finna blow that rehydration clause shit up, and with the IBF, I'm finna blow that up even more. Check this out. If Lima Bean would have held that belt, If Lima Bean would have had that IBF belt, do you think Eddie Hearn or Boots would have said, "Oh, you know what, mate? I would fight Lima Bean for the IBF title, but you know, I just don't like the rehydration clause." No. Dudes use that when it's a fighter, when it's a guy who they deem to be a tough fighter. Man, this nigga kind of tough. I don't know about this one now. That's when they go to making up all kind of stuff about the belt. Yeah, dog. Yeah, see what he is now. I would fight the nigga, dog, but shit, nigga trying to get me killed. Yeah, man, but this motherfucker right here, he ain't like no mother tomato can now. So what we got to do now, see, if they didn't have that, that rehydration, like again, like, you know, cause I can't rehydrate no more than 10 pounds after the day before weigh-in until the next morning. Now, after they weigh me in 6 o'clock in the morning, then I got hours to rehydrate and, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason I won't vote Lima Bean. I guess what? It'd be something totally different than Lima Bean at the IBF belt.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, listen, y'all know I ain't lying. Shout out to Mega Royale, Ron Boy Fresh. Shout out to New Country, Green Eyes P. Shout out to the real Coach Ron. Shout out to MB813. Shout out to EI. Shout out to EI, man, from Philly. Naj from Philly. Mitchell from Chi-Town. Shout out to Hype from Louisiana. Wookie Wook from Maine. Shout out to Freddie, man, O-Town 2 times. Jamie from New York. Casino Like Prayers, ATL 2 times. MB813. Shout out to M1 from the Bronx. Let's see who else we got. Shout out to Rich from KC. Coach Eddie from the ATL 2 times. Martin from the O-Town 2 times. Deep East Oakland. Ron Boy Fresh from DC 2 times. Shout out to Schoolo. Shout out to Summer in November. Shout out to Nod. Shout out to Donald Banks. Salute, brother. Shout out to Juice So Sick. Shout out to Bishop Bullwinkle. Who else we got, fam? Shout out to George the Duck. Georgie the Duck. Salute. You say Georgie the Duck. I think that's a troll over there. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Let's see. Shout out to Jamie from New York. Shout out to Daniel. G5 the Capo. G5 from the Bronx. Big Mason, man. Shout out to Mason, man. From Flint, Michigan. Shout out to Trey. Tony Montana. Mr. Tomato Can. Heart to Heart. Shout out to Tila, man. North Omaha, stand up. Shout out to LJ Wright. Shout out to Stephanie in the building. Southwest said. Hey, say it. And I like me cherry picking, right? Yeah, dog. Who that nigga? It's a dude I know to my left. This is hard. This nigga good chance. This nigga might whoop my ass. This is more of a 50-50 fight. I don't know about him. I don't really want that belt. But this nigga over here, but Pochop Willie can get it. Tell Pochop Willie I said that I'm the best, I'm the greatest of all time. Tell Pochop Willie can get it. Now that nigga over there, now Mojo Jojo now. I don't know about him now. See how he got that big rehydration, all that there. But Pochop can get it. Pochop, what's up? What you want to do? You wanted to come to Tampa? Come to Tampa, Pochop. I'll fight you right now. Tampa Stadium in front of all of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll fight you right now, dog. You know, I got a couple of cheesesteaks and a cigar from Ybor City. Now I got a couple of cigars I can pay you from Ybor City. You know, Tampa. Tampa is a cigar capital of the world. Ybor City is a cigar capital of the world. I hope y'all know that. Yeah, dog, just come on over here, dog. Got something for you. You can get it. But that nigga over there, Bam Bam Bigelow, nah, I'm good.
True.
Can't be doing that, fam. Shout out to the Martin. Shout out to Trey. Big John Doe, what up, Doe? Flex in the building. Shout out to Miss Connie. Shout out to Sheila. Shout out to La Jessica. Shout out to and again, this ain't boosting them saying this. This is the fans. The fans can't be doing that, dog. It's a bad look. Shout out to La Jessica. It is what it is. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. You know my motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace. Peace to the family, y'all.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on. Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on.